Helo a chroeso nôl I Gaer Bragdy. Wythnos ar ôl I Benebont giro Llanymddyfri mewn gêm anhygoel yma Abertawe sy'n ymweld ar maes hanesyddol. Ond mae yna wahaniaeth mawr. Colli heno am eich tymor chi drosodd. Mae rowndiau ail gyfle wedi cyrraedd.
Mae 6 tîm yn saff yn y rowndiau terfynol. Mae 2 le ar ôl i'r 4 tîm sy'n weddill yn y rowndiau ail gyfle.
A mae Rygbi Cymru wedi ymateb buddugoliaeth adre yn Gaerfyrddin. A mae boes Penabont yn gwenu. Cic tŵodd mae Obri nôl ar y tu fewn, law yn yr awyr.
Y rowndiau ail gyfle ar S4C.
A dyna sy'n nath bethau orffen ar ddiwedd y tymor arferol ddydd Sadwrn. Caerdydd orffennodd ar frig y tabl gyda Glynebwy triphwynt tu ôl iddyn nhw yn ail. Casnewydd a Llanymddyfri sydd hefyd wedi salio lle yn y rownd go gynderfynol gatref orffen yn y 4 ucha. Pontypool ac Aberafan hefyd yn saff yn y cwarteri a cofiwch bod y 4 isa yn chwarae yn y rownd ail gyfle wythnos yma. Gan sôn am y rowndiau ail gyfle, Penabont sy'n croesawu Abertawe, dyna'n gêm fewn I heno, ac yna ddydd Sadwrn bydd Rygbi Cymru ac Aberafan yn mynd ben a'i gilydd am y lle ola yna yn y rowndiau go gynderfynol. Felly noson mawr i'r 2 dîm yma, noson arbennig hefyd I Ciren Hadi sy'n ail ymuno I hen hyfforddwr. Tîm dan 15, mynydd mawr, Ricky Guest. Dyddiau da.
Disgwyl fe nawr. O, bob clod I Ricky.
Ateb David, dwi'n gwybod beth, sa'n gwybod sy'n gwybod beth ti fel yn hyfforddi, ond at yn gêm heno, fel ni di sôn, mae yn gêm fawr i'ch chwaraewyr yma, a mae newid meddylfryd yn diwedd, chi'n gwybod chi'n colli heno, chi allan ohoni.
Mae pob gêm nawr yn meddwl lot fwy fi'n credu, mae'r dwyster a pwysau ymlaen yn y gêm oedd yma, a byddwn disgwyl cael perfformiad llawn heno I beth sydd ddod yn y cwbl thosau nesaf.
Ie, Ronnie Raven yma yn ymuno, dyn ni yn edrych mlaen at y gêm. Fe'n neidio'r fformat achos ar ddiwedd y gyngred, mae pob un tîm dal yn gallu ennill. Mae'n fformat unigryw dros ben.
Odi mae yn, ond mae wedi creu lot o diddordeb yn y gyngred. Mae pob gêm fel gêm cwpan ar Loren, a gyda hwnna, mae pob gêm yn meddwl lot yn fwy na dwi.
Ie, dyna fe ni moyn gweld ar nos iau. Right, wel gadewch I ni edrych ar y gêmau y rowndiau terfynol sy'n cael ei chwarae ddydd Sadwrn nesaf. Bydd enillwyr y gêm yma yn teithio I Gaerdydd. Mae'n drydydd yn erbyn chweched wrth I Gasnewydd herio Aberafan. Bydd tîm fuddigol gêm ail gyfle ddydd Sadwrn wedyn yn teithio I Glynebwy ac fe fydd Llanymddyfri yn croesawu Pontypool. Right, wel roedd hi'n fuddigoliaeth wych wythnos diwetha I Benebont, fuddigoliaeth munud ola. Fe orffennon nhw'r tymor yn 7fed. Gêm gartre heno, gymaint o hyder dwi'n ddychmygu Ciren yn llifo trwy'r garfan.
Ie, fi'n credu y bwysig yn nhw sicrhau fod gêm gartre dyn nhw heno, mae'n mynd I ddod a digon o hyder i'r grŵp, beth sydd I ddod. A fi'n credu mae'r hyder yna'n neud y tîm yn well, a fi'n credu maen nhw'n ffindo ffordd o ennill ar y funud, a bydd hwnna'n gret.
Ie, Luke Price fyna. Mae'n mynd gosod cyntaf nôl o anaf ac yn gywir gyda'r gic ola. Ond, nhw sy'n ar record gweitha gartre yn y gyngred. Ydy hynny'n cyfri am unrhyw beth heno, Ricky?
Na, sy'n credu ni. Mae'n gêm darbi heno rhwng Penabont a Abertawe. Mae lot fwy ar y gêm hyn na beth sydd wedi bod ar y gêmau cyn ni. Felly na, sy'n credu bydd hwnna'n cael lot o effaith heno ddod.
Right, wel ni yn nawr troi'n sylw at Abertawe. Fe gollon nhw ei 11 gêm gyntaf o'r tymor, ond wrth edrych ar y tabl yma sy'n cymryd y 5 gêm ddiwethaf I fewn I ystyried, ydyn nhw wedi falle dod o hyd i'w siap ar yr amser iawn. Beth ti'n meddwl, Ciren, sydd wedi newid iddyn nhw?
Fi'n credu disgwyl yn nhw, maen nhw'n tîm ifanc iawn, mae bach o profiad yn nhw gyda Matthew Obri a Joe Thomas yn y olwyr, ond maen nhw'n tîm ifanc a maen nhw wedi colli cwpl o gêmau sydd wedi bod yn agos hefyd.
Ie, mae un fuddugoliaeth yn gallu newid pethau. Geithon nhw'r fuddugoliaeth yna ym mis Rhagfyr. Faint mae momentum yn cyfri am yn y gêm ail gyfle?
Mae momentum o popeth yn y gêm, a ffindo ffordd o ennill ar Brydiau pan ti wedi bod yn colli cwpl o gêm, oedd yn rhoi hyder i'r boes o beth sydd i ddod, a mae'n rhoi hwb i'r tîm hefyd.
Right, cyn bod ni'n edrych ar y tîm cartre, dyma'r ymwelwyr. Mae Liam Edwards yn dechrau yn yr ail reng, chwaraewr sy'n chysylltiadau'r gweilch. Mae fe'n chwarae 6 gêm i Abertawe y tymor yma. Ni'n siarad lot am chwaraewyr rhyngwladol gyda Chymru yn dini, ond dyma un arall i chi, Joe Greaves yn gwisgo rhif 6, capten Malta, a mae un arall o'r gweilch, dyn sy'n nifer o gapiau dan 20 Cymru, Harry Houston yn dechrau, 2 gais yn erbyn Glynebwy dros y penwythnos, a mae fe'n dechrau fel cefnwr heno. Mae Owen Thomas hefyd yn dechrau yn y crys rhif 7 yn dilyn Callum Bowden sydd wedi i anafu. A mae lle mae fe eisiau bod yn ei chanol i wrth ei fodd nawr mae rookie guest.
Dwi'n cael ymuno gyda Hugh Gustafson, hyfforddwr Abertawe. Hugh, chi wedi cael tymor bach weddol erbyn hyn, lot o gemau caled dechrau tymor a dim lot o fuddugoliaethau, ond erbyn hyn chi wedi troi hwnna rown a wedi ennill lot o gemau'n diweddar. Beth sydd wedi newid?
Y boes ifanc master yn chwarae yn y sgwad ni, so boes yn chwarae Bucks, gwelch dan yn 18, nhw'n tyfu trwy tymor, ond gweld nawr ar ôl Nadolig, mae tywydd dwi'n dod yn neis, yn ei chwarae rygbi master.
Chi heb ennill lot bant o gytre, chi'n dechrau heno?
Yeah, fingers crossed, ni'n quarters wrthos nesaf wedyn.
Diolch ti, Hugh. Right, Josh Phillips, cofio, mae'n un. Josh, sut ti? Right, cyn bod ni'n dechrau siarad am y rygbi, beth yw rein?
Wel, hyd at hyn, maen nhw wedi fod yn good luck charm i ni. So, pob gêm fi wedi dod yn nhw i'r gêm ni wedi ennill. So, gobeithio mae'n gallu cario ymlaen heno.
So, oedd rai o'r cameras wedi gweld ti'n troi lan yn gwisgo rein. Beth yw nhw?
Lightning McQueen, so fi'n huge Cars fan. Fel chi'n gallu gweld, Mrs wedi prynu nhw i fi am y Nadolig.
I fod yn deg, fi'n gobeithio maen nhw yn rhoi look i chi, ond heno, i chi am y meddylfryd o trelledu'r bel trwy nos?
Ie, mae'r tywydd yn gred i ni, mae'r cae yn neis, chwarae teg, a mae'n cae wais, so ni'n gallu chwarae, gobeithio ni'n gallu chwarae rygbi ni, chwarae rygbi agored, a jyst chwarae rygbi yn hanner nhw. Ni'n gwybod bod nhw'n tîm dda, nhw'n gallu bod yn tîm drwm, a ni'n trio gobeithio gallu chwarae o gwmpas hwnna, a sgorio'r ceisio fel ni wedi bod yn gwneud yn yr wythnos diwethaf.
So, os byddech chi yn fuddugoliaethus heno, beth fydd hwnna'n meddwl i chi fel garfan?
Ie, bydd yn meddwl lot yn enwedig yr ffordd sydd wedi cael amser anodd, ond i ni fel chwaraewyr hefyd sydd wedi bod yn gweithio'n galed. Ni wedi cael tymor eitha caled, i fod yn onest, i dechrau yn araf. Ni wedi cael cwpl o gemau lle ni wedi bod yn rili agos, ond dros wythnosau diwethaf yn ebyn llan o ddyfru yn enwedig, ni wedi llwyddo mynd dros yr finish line na.
Pob lwc i ti, ti'n cael croc ti nôl na? Nôl i ti, Lauren.
Mae fe'n un i siarad, Ricky Guest. Fi'n siŵr bod fi wedi gweld e'n gwisgo rhywbeth tebyg iawn yn Llanham Dyfri. Ond rhaid, nôl at gêm heno, a nôl at y tîm. Harry Houston y cefnwr, un ti'n nabod yn dda iawn, Ciaran. Mae fe'n un sy'n rhan o garfan esyniedig y gweilch. Mae wedi syrennu'r lefel yma. Beth sy'n angen iddo i wneud i gyrraedd y lefel nesaf?
Siwr o fod cadw ar y rygbi, bod wedi cael digon o munud tymor ma ware i Abertawe. Ni'n gweld yn mynd rhedeg trwyddo, a beth ni'n gweld yn neud pan mae'n ymarfer gyda ni hefyd. Mae'n chwaraewr dawnus, mae'n rhedeg y bel nôl yn dda, a fi'n credu bod popeth y fe cyrraedd y lefel nesaf. Fi'n credu mae'n gweithio'n galed, a amser yn y sadl yw cael fwy o gemoedd i Abertawe.
Ie, mae un sy'n gallu datgloi am ddiffyn yn hawdd ar y degau. Ti hefyd, Ricky, wedi dewis un i wylio. Mor agos ar sgrym sy'n bosib heb fod ynddi, Matthew Overy.
Ie, mae Matthew, mae'n chwaraewr dawnus ni'n gweld efo hyn. Mae chi'n neud bach o popeth, mae gymorth yn dda, mae llinellau cymorth yn dda, mae'n sgori lot o ceisiau, ond hefyd yn tactegol a gyda'i sgiliau fe, mae'n effeithiol dros ben. Mae cicio fe'n dda, mae kickbox yn wych, ond beth mae'n gallu neud yw gallu troi'r gêm gyda'r llinellau cymorth. Ni'n gallu gweld fan hyn unwaith eto bod e'n y lle cywir rhan fwy o'r amser.
Ie, dwi'n meddwl dros wel, tua 20 gêm i'r gwylch, felly ni hefyd yn gweld pobl yn dychwelyd i'r gyngrair yma ac yn rhannu eu profiad. Rhaid, gadewch i ni roi'n sylw nawr at y tîm cartre. Ni'n aml yn sôn am Ryan Wilkins yn y canol. Ei bartner heno yw Tom Florence. 6 ymddangosiad i'r gwylch tymor yma cyn chwaraewr Cymru dan 20 hefyd. Lewis Jones sy'n arall o'r gwylch yn yr ail reng. 8 gêm i'r rhanbarth y tymor yma. Mab Derwyn Jones i'r rhai sy'n digon hen i gofio fe, a Cameron Ellis ar yr asgell wedi sgorio cais ym mhob un o'i 4 gêm diwetha, a llyffegau problem heno. A cwbl o newidiadau hwyr, Macaulay Rowley allan, a mytholwch Iorwerth Scott hefyd mas, felly Liam Tobias yn dechrau fel prop plentyn heno. A Scott Baldwin yn ymuno â ni nawr. Scott, what a win last week. It proved vital in the end in getting a home tie. So what can you take from that performance and result?
I thought a lot of the performance was good. Probably our reset receptions, which we'll find out at the start of the night because we're receiving kick-off. We were too soft there. We were within 3 phases either given a penalty or a turnover. So that's an area. It's been a bit of an Achilles heel for us this season. So we've changed something. So hopefully it works tonight.
How important is momentum tonight, Scott?
The thing is with us, we never seem to have momentum. It's like a wave, but yeah, it's huge, and it's something we spoke about in terms of believing in ourselves and sticking to the game plan. It's something I spoke about last week as coaches. We've probably gone away from and been quite reactive too. So message this week has been pretty simple. Let's repeat what we done last week.
You've got your specialist 10s back, but an exciting looking 10, 12, 13 tonight. We've spoken a bit about Tom Florence. What are you looking for from the back line?
Looking for them to grow into the game in terms of they're both 2 explosive centres. So what we're looking for is when Swansea got the back, we're looking to bring that line speed we had earlier in the season and hopefully get turnovers to give us some transition attack.
Obviously done a lot of prep on Swansea this week, and what are you expecting from them tonight?
Look, they're a team that's growing in confidence. Spoke about momentum. They've had a lot of momentum, not necessarily the results all the time, but they've grown week on week and they're scoring a lot of points. So we know the threat they cause. They look to play off kick-offs quite a lot with that 4-man pod. So yeah, we're expecting them to play tonight.
Scott, best of luck. We'll send you back to your team. And I will take your hand as well. There we are. A newn ni barhau i siarad am y tîm cartre. Alfie Llywelyn, oedd e'n wych wythnos fatha. Galle fe falle fod wedi enwi'n sir yn y gêm. Oedd e bob man, Ricky?
Odi, mae Alfie Llywelyn yn chwaraewr sy'n llawn doniau y ddoi ochr o'r pêl. Ni'n gweld fel un yn cario'r bêl yn gryf. Mae'n gyflym dros ben dros y 5 cath cynta. Ond hefyd, ni'n gweld hefyd yn amddiffynol yn gryf ac yn taro bobl i nôr. A hefyd, mae'n ddoniau da fe yn y llinell. A mae hwnna yn peth bwysig dros ben fel ail reng neu reng ôl y dyddiau yma.
Ie, eto mae'n eithaf ni glywed Scott Van Ensom am beth mae fe moyn o'r olwyr. Fydd e moyn yr un fath o berfformiad o'r blaenwyr. Perfformiad ffrwydrol, digon o egni. Pen ar y bloc da. Pen y bont wedi ennill 4 o'r 5 gêm ddiwetha yn erbyn Abertawe. Sut ti'n gweld hon yn mynd? Na fynd i ti yn gyntaf, Ricky.
Pen y bont i fi, llawer y hyder yn nhw ar ôl meiddi llan ymddefnydd diwetha, a hefyd lot mwy o profiad i fi'n teimlo yn ei garfan nhw.
Ciaran?
Fi'n gweud Abertawe fi'n credu. Y ffordd nhw moyn wario'r gêm, maen nhw'n siarad wedi lledu'r pêl. Mae'r modern eitha dda heno a maen nhw wedi tyfu trwy gyda'r tymor.
Dyna be ni'n hoffi gweld. Bach o amrywiaeth yn yr atebion. Chi'n mynd i roi bet mlaen?
Na, fi dyn.
Na, ti'n gallu fforddio flat white. Coffi bach o leia. Right, OK, wel mae digon i ddod ar S4C dros yr wythnosau nesaf yn Super Rygbi Cymru. Llan ymddyfru yn erbyn Pontypool yw'n gêm ni ar y 3 o Fai, sef wythnos nesaf. A wedyn ar y 10 o Fai fyddwn ni'n darlledu y rownd gyn-derfynol a fyddwn ni gyda chi hyd at y diwedd. Y rownd derfynol ar y 19 o Fai ar S4C. Reit, Abertawe dal i fod yn chwilio am ei buddigoliaeth gyntaf o ddi cartre, o dyn nhw'n mynd i selio fe heno. There's English language commentary available with Kieran Hardy and Sean Hawley. Yn y Gymraeg, Ricky Guest sy'n ymuno a'n sylwebyn ni heno, Griff McKee.
Croeso, welcome to the Dunraven Brewery Field, home of Bridgend Ravens. And it's an all to play for Super Rygbi Cymru wildcard. Game 1 for a place in the quarter-finals, albeit a trip to Cardiff, but all to play for tonight as Swansea come out. The All Whites playing in navy tonight. I'll explain why in a moment, but the home team come out. Zach O'Driscoll leads them out. Bridgend, well, had the upper hand over Swansea earlier in the season here at the Dunraven Brewery Field, but tonight's a different proposition, a one-off. So let's take a look at the teams. Bridgend then, well, they make just 2 changes to the team that registered the last gasp win over Llandovery last week. In the backs, Bridgend Athletic and Ospreys Academy product. Tom Florence comes into the centre, the partner Ryan Wilkins. Up front, another Ospreys Academy member, Lewis Jones, starts in the second row. Ben Burnell resumes his comeback at fly half. Zach O'Driscoll, the captain, wears 7. For Swansea, well, they've won 3 of their last 5 matches, but after narrow defeat to Ebbw Vale last weekend, Hugh Gustafsson makes 6 changes to his starting lineup. Will Austin comes in, the young hooker, and Joe Greaves and captain Owen Thomas, they return in the back row. Scrum halves, Mackie Aubrey and Ewan Temblett swap positions. Rhys Jones is our referee tonight.
Okay. Swansea behind.
So we're just about ready to go, and Josh Phillips gets us underway, and a difficult start for Bridgend right off the bat. Both teams playing in blue tonight.
Knock on blue.
I should clarify here that the all-white Swansea, well, last game they had their shirts embroidered and gifted to them as an end-of-season gift, therefore they were in their blue shirts. But thankfully for Kieran Hardy and I, it is a dark blue. Maybe get a bit more difficult, Kieran, when the dark night creeps in. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, Sean.
Good.
Set. High. Keep it high. High one. No step.
So Bridgend put into the first scrum. It's gone down. Rhys Jones. I think we'll just let that one unfold. See what happens at the next one. They change.
I need a pushing straight. That's why
in the Bridgend front row, Liam Tobias, the 31-year-old, in his 3rd season at Bridgend, comes in. As Matthew Yorworth Scott pulled by the Ospreys unwell all week.
Crouch! Fine! Set! Stay! Keep it high!
Chance again then for Chris Williams to get away. Ben Burnell, difficult one to take. Ships it to Ed Howley. Pumps downfield. Now then, first chance for Harry Houston. Ospreys Academy prospect. Dangerous counter-attack up into the Bridgend half. Aubrey, first chance to get things going. Joe Thomas, experienced centre. That will ride on his shoulders tonight. Dab Davis waits the loose head. Now then, Houston again early in the action. Oh, nice little ship on from Ed Thompson. Early chance for Will Austin, the young 21-year-old hooker. On the charge was Guy Davis, but it's turnover time. Opposite number, Thomas Jevons, just wrestled to the floor there by Josh Phillips. And Burnell sees some space on the far side. Ewan Glynn puts boot to ball. Ball in playtime is high here at the Brewery Field. Still going. Counter. Howley looks for a bit of grass, finds it. Aubrey does really well. Just nudge it off to Houston, who this time kicks, and that's a lovely return kick. Ben Burnell could do nothing about that. That was a pretty breathless opening to the game, Kieran.
Exactly what we expected, probably, Sean, isn't it, with the conditions and the way that both teams want to play the game. I think Swansea, speaking to before the game, they want to move the ball, and great start to the game, and it's a good pass by Aubrey, even though he won't win at his back after.
So, first throw in for the experienced Evan Yardley, son of Paul Yardley, former Bridgend and Aberafan flanker. Great stalwart.
Push back.
Williams, 33-year-old Clanharan man. Good contestable kick. Very brave take there by Ewan Glynn. Also can play at fullback. The winger. KG start. Aubrey goes to Dab Davis. Willing Carrier already in the opening 3 or 4 minutes. And Aubrey now
Nice, Alex.
will look to his left foot into the sky. It's kick to kick. Oh, taken really well by Williams. Hauled down by Kai Davis. Nice little offload to Cameron Ellis.
Come back.
Now here come Bridgend. Jevons, show and go, but he's into Austin, who's now over the ball, dealt with really well by Dylan Burrows, but it's stolen this time. Swansea have it. Can they ship it on Kai Davis? Out it goes. Aubrey in the wide channels. But well marshalled, just a bit overzealous from Bridgend. And we can see both teams, Kieran, really challenging hard over that ball.
Yeah, that's what the derby games are all about, Sean, isn't it? The breakdown and the physicality in there, and both teams are definitely trying to be as physical as they can in there, win those exchanges.
Zach, is this on the shoulder? Zach,
difficult kick.
It wasn't a high tackle, this on the shoulder.
Good touch, good take it was from Chris Williams.
Bridgend,
Just hauled down. As you can see here now. They've won the race, Bridgend. But Swansea get the ball from the penalty. Tough kick to touch, but it's up to the halfway line. And Will Austin at the back of that more, but seems to be going forward pretty quickly. Good set up from the visitors. Aubrey waits, goes to the air again. Doesn't quite get the distance that he wanted on that one. But it comes back to Swansea side. Austin does well. Aubrey gets another bite at it. Phillips steps up to the outside of his right foot. Interesting kick, that one. And gets the bounce into touch. But it's too far. Out on the full, and the game has been played in the middle third of the field.
Yeah, it is, and it's probably what both teams have spoke about before the game, is probably not overplaying in that middle third, and you see both teams looking for kick space and trying to put pressure on the opposition. Unfortunately, just overcooks it slightly, but it probably wasn't a bad option in the after the turnover.
We do have a TMO for tonight's game. Jenny Davis, the WRU, residing in that position. Bennell puts the dink in, lots of space there. And it's through, well taken this time by Tom Florence. Both he and Wilkins were there. Bennell again ships it this time to Howie. Howie just gets the ball back. It's there for Williams. Jevons, number 8, a little bit of footwork. Florence, little step inside. It's there for Williams. Little run coming in from Evan Yardley. That's the Swansea 22 midfield. Bennell waits as Wilkins uses the short ball, but decent defence there from Swansea. Back the other way now. Harry Olding with the headband. Jevons, ever willing. Good Swansea defence at the moment. But that's quicker ball now. Howley on the outside, back inside. And it's knocked on in the tackle.
Use it! No, don't do that.
Right. To Thomas, and usually at scrum half. Uses Dab Davis, and Aubrey then goes to his left foot yet again. Just outside the 22. This has to stay in field. Glyn chases. There's such a difficult one. Superbly taken there. And now then, here we go. Florence, Bennell, a little bit of space. Pushes it behind Harry Houston. Across goes Phillips. Good cover from the outside half. See some space in the backfield, and back Bridgend have to go. They do have plenty of numbers. Jake Thomas to Howley. Picks his head up. Was he inside or outside his 22? Looks like he was inside just, I think, Kieran. But again, long passage of play, lots of kicks.
Yeah, I think first 20 minutes of games now is probably what you expect, isn't it? Both teams looking for territory and possession in the opposition half, and I think quite a back and forth there in the kicking battle, really. And Josh Phillips as well in the back there to clean it up and find some grass and puts Bridgend under pressure.
Give us an idea of, for our young scrum halves watching, the amount of time you spend practicing your box kicks these days.
Not everyone's good, mind, Sean, but I do try my best. It's a massive part of the game, isn't it? I think to relieve pressure and also put pressure on opposition, and it's also based off momentum at the moment. If you feel like you're going well in attack and you're going forward, then it's probably not the right option. But if you feel like you're neutral or a couple of negative rucks, then it's always good to put the pressure back on them and make it contestable.
Lots of box kicks as we look at Both sets of coaches. We saw Hugh Gustafsson, a lone figure, far side, and there's Scott Baldwin with Matthew Jones in the background. That's the view that he has from the gantry, Scott Baldwin. Got to admit, when I was coaching, I like that view. I like to be just up a little bit.
Blue pizza, this is.
Hugh Gustafsson prefers to be solo. Again, feeling a bit old, Kieran. Coached all those players.
Swansea inside the half.
Scott Baldwin.
Oh, good.
Fine hooker in his day for the Ospreys. Played here, of course, for Bridgend. His hometown. Now then, back to the game after a slight stoppage. Swansea, what can they do from the halfway line? Good clean ball. Phillips brings in Kai Davis as his runner up to the halfway line. Aubrey again goes left foot, but he's just not quite getting the trajectory that he wants on his box kicks. Gets another chance. And he pays the penalty, literally, for a poor kick. Bridgend get the advantage.
You have to retreat.
Yeah, that's probably the downside of the kicking game, isn't it? If you don't get it quite right, then it puts pressure on you, and all of a sudden you could be back in your own 22. So it's unfortunate there. He probably just sits back a little bit on his kick and just goes straight up in the air. But, you know, it's the right option probably from them to go to the middle of the field and then try and put a contestable down the middle and try and get some territory early.
Yeah, he's disappointed with himself. Gone to midfield, and as Kieran says, looks for the contestable midfield where there is a bit of space, but he just doesn't get the distance that he wants, and then offside. So Bridgend with their first phase possession in Swansea territory. Last kick win over Llandudno. Last week, Luke Price with that nudge, and now they have the chance. Williams, a long pass, just doesn't quite make it to Bennell, who scrambles back and does well there. Cameron Ellis makes some useful yards. Williams again. Here's Harry Olding. Same way they go. Bennell, missed pass. Ed Howley can't get away from the clutches of Tom Edwards on the left. Here's tight Ted. Liam Tobias, and he wins the penalty. Not rolling away from Swansea. And the first bit of pressure, Kieran, and Swansea commit an offence which allows Bridgend to get further into the 22.
Yeah, and probably frustrating for Swansea and their coaches because they look quite comfortable there, really. I think they kept Bridgend on the 10-metre line. They weren't really looking dangerous, so just probably left them off the hook, and now they got to defend in their own 22.
Will Austin, the culprit, makes a good tackle, but like he's got trapped. I might say a bit of cute play from Bridgend there, just trapping him in there, but
go for the ball.
You have to roll away as quick as he can, and that's a good kick from Bennell. Puts Bridgend in a very dangerous position. Evan Yardley. Oh, and it's lost. And away comes captain Owen Thomas. First time we've seen him tonight.
Stay. Take it back.
And Aubrey tries to get a bit more momentum and put himself on his left foot now. Can he do a better job this time? A little bit back on himself, which frees up and opens his hip to make a better kick. But Bridgend goes through. Lovely little off-throw. Didn't go to hand. Just a little low it was for Williams. But showing good intent, Bridgend. Swansea just had a chance to go. They still want to play. Score. Lovely little step there by Tom Edwards. Showed some gas. Was he in touch? Well, Liam Tobias was there anyway, but wow, that was a little bit of an electric step and go there.
It was, yeah, and it all came from a turnover again from Bridgend, didn't it? Those passes probably not quite sticking at the moment for Bridgend, but you see both sides, Sean, trying to play an expansive game and try and move the ball and offload, and unfortunately on this incident it doesn't come off, but it's probably the right idea, you know, passes a little bit higher, they're in behind, and
away come Bridgend, Tom Florence with that offload, and here's Thomas Jevons into midfield. Forwards, Filer on the corner, but it's gone slow now, but Yardley still steps up. He's met by Dav Davis, who tries to rip the ball, and indeed he does, but illegally, says ref Rhys Jones.
And a knee on the floor. Clear release.
No clear release from the tackler, so another offence, and these penalties are just starting to stack up a little bit against Swansea.
Yeah, and they're just giving Bridgend an easy way in, easy access into their 22 and putting pressure on themselves again, but you know, he makes the tackle there. He's done a good job. He's probably slowed the ball up, and he's probably just gone a bit too far and tried to steal the ball as well. But they look pretty comfortable in defence, but the real discipline's probably just leaving them down at the moment.
Yeah, a bit of frustration for
Quicker with the tackle as well.
Ben Lewis, Sam Williams and head coach Hugh Gustafsson. They don't look at any real threat other than now when they give penalties away. Yardley, another chance in the 22. It's one this time. They set the maul, Bridgend. Yardley quickly onto it, and he's right at the back of the driving maul. Swansea do well. Williams has to go in and ship it to Florence. Burnell out the back. Howley can't quite get the bounce pass. Jake Thomas offload off the floor. Ryan Wilkins spins out of the tackle from Josh Phillips into the 22. Burnell again tries a little dart himself. It's gone backwards. It's actually gone back forward from a Swansea hand, so there's a bit of an advantage here. And now it's called advantage over as Harry Olden trundles into the 22. Howley steps up to play out scrum half. A little good flat pass there from Ben Burnell. The pick and go is a good one from Lewis Jones. Saw a bit of a gap there. No, this is quicker ball. Spun out to Florence. Can he get the side door? Yes, he can, to Evan Yardley. Scrambling in defence, Swansea here now. The home side just applying the pressure, but they've stolen it again, Swansea. And away comes Callum Dodd. And they can breathe a sigh of relief. And they're still in a bit of trouble. Dab Davis has carried well in the first 15 minutes here. And he wins the penalty. A ripple of applause from the away fans at the Brewery Field. And that was the best attack we've seen, Kieran Hardy, from Bridgend tonight.
Yeah, went through phases and lost a lot of questions at Swansea there, and a couple more phases. Who knows? They probably could have applied a bit more pressure, but pleasing for Swansea there, the way they've come out of that set and turned the ball over. I think, and then got a penalty. I think they've weathered the early storm from Bridgend, and hopefully they can get some front foot into themselves.
Jack, all good.
Let's go down and see who Lauren Jenkins has.
Diolch Griff, ie, fi gyda pennaeth datblygu chwaraewyr yr Undeb Rygbi Cymru, John Alder. We're nearing the end of the first season of Super Rugby Cymru. Your reflections, first of all, John?
Please.
I think we're delighted from a WRU perspective at the first season of the SRC. Obviously we went in with a bit of an unknown. We worked with the 10 clubs and the 5 regional academies on what we thought would be a really ambitious and exciting league, and we got to the first wildcard playoff game, and we're delighted.
You've got more to say.
We've seen, in terms of our under-20s players going into the Six Nations, we saw, compared to previous years, they had 70% more starting appearances before Christmas in the SRC and 70% more match minutes. And we hope that's shown up in what was a successful under-20s, and that's kind of the purpose of the league. We got our regional academies working closely with the 10 clubs, and we're hoping that it's a league that's great to play in and exciting for fans to watch.
Well, I think we've got a first try of the knockout round, although this has gone to a TMO track, so we'll come back to you, John. Diolch yn fawr.
Well, typical, isn't it? We go to John Alder, and Rhys Jones has to go to his TMO because a great bit of play down that short side, or far side for us, Kieran. Lovely lint to play. Matthew Aubrey goes over, but there's a potential forward pass here. And indeed, Jenny Davis does confirm his forward. No try, but Swansea showing that they are a real threat. Let's go back to Lauren Jenkins with Johnny Alder.
I like it, Swansea. Forward pass. Outside 22, Jenny?
We're back, John. Right, I imagine you'll spend some time reviewing the competition, but any initial thoughts on how it can be further improved?
Are you changing the boots?
I think we've been working with the clubs on looking at the season structure. A big commitment is that it aligns with the pro game, so we won't see that changing substantially. I think we had ambitions and hopes at the outset that we'd be moving towards an Anglo-Welsh Cup, but due to challenges with the RFU, that's been paused for now. So I think we'll look at the Cup format for next year, just ensure that we've got a good flow of games for fans, for players. So I think this season structure is one thing, and other than that, just taking good feedback from our clubs and the players in terms of what they think would make it even better year on year.
Are you allowed to pick a winner for the inaugural season?
A winner?
the team you think will lift the title?
Oh, I wouldn't want to say. I mean, we've hopefully created a fair bit of jeopardy. We've got the wild card games, which is the first thing we brought in, which means that even if you finish last, you've got a very, very tough road. But every game counts, and if you've been successful through the season, you've got to make it count in the playoffs. So the league season's over now, and it's into finals footy. So
what we like here on Thursday night. Diolch yn fawr. Thanks for your time.
Diolch.
Finals footy, says John Alder, the WRU. I tend to agree with him. It's nice when the weather's a bit better, Kieran. Thursday nights doesn't matter if it's Thursday or Friday nights. We've got games at the end of the season with something on them.
Yeah, definitely. And as a player, those are the games you want to be involved in, isn't it? The games where these are almost cup games now. They're knockout games for these teams, and so there's a little bit more in the games, and the pressure goes up a little bit, and they've got to make sure they perform.
Bridgend then, lovely little first phase play. Through they go. Just hauled down. There's a good tackle in the end by Dodd, but they're still on the charge. Poor pass from Chris Williams and hacked through by Owen Thomas. He's back down on it on the floor. Danger there as Jake Thomas side through. Good tackle it was from Callum Dodd to save the day. It's sort of back and forth with the error. It's exciting stuff, but we still haven't had a score here at the Dunraven Brewery Field as Ed Howley picks his head up. He tries to outwit his opposite number, Harry Houston, who's just scurried back there. Picks his head up, puts a decent kick in towards Burnell. Back inside to Florence, who's had a lot to do in this game. Thomas, put Jevons in a little bit of trouble. Number 8 does quite well. They need to win that race back there. And they have. So both sides, as Kieran says, trying to play some rugby. Balance with some decent kicking. And it is a cup tie. It is a one-off for a quarter-final place in the 2024-25 Super Rygbi Cymru.
Use it!
They'll have to travel to Cardiff, which is a tough ask, but it doesn't matter. It keeps you in the competition. Williams, the box kick. Josh Phillips this time. He stuttered, but he did really well. And he's athletic, the outside half. He carries to get up to his own 10-metre line. Darth Davis. Must be about his 7th or 8th carry, the loose head prop. Aubrey gets more on this one. It's a little too deep, you feel. And his opposite number, Williams, can shunt it back down to Harry Houston, who measures the end-over-end kick, and that's a good one. Jake Thomas, will he go quick? I feel he had the opportunity, but didn't want to, and that about sums the game up so far.
It does, yeah. Both teams fighting for territory, innit? And a lot of long kicks. And Swansea probably getting the best of them at the moment. I think Harry Houston's look very comfortable at the back. Spent a lot of time with him at the Ospreys, and he's someone who works really hard at the game. They're probably a bit unlucky with this. I think it'd be positive for Swansea, but they've shown they've had one opportunity and a try disallowed. So I think they'll be comfortable.
Call by the TMO, that one, and a turnover at the line-up. Swansea, Dad Davis, off the back of Will Austin's good work at the tail. The third front rower, Ed Thompson, joins in. All front rowers carrying, and they have the advantage. Aubrey to his left again. Goes over the head of Jake Thomas. Difficult one for the winger, but they'll take the penalty. And you have to feel, Kieran, that 20 minutes in, nip and tuck, the Swansea just might go for the 3 points here.
Quick at 10.
Yeah, and I think it's that cup game mentality, isn't it? I think, they haven't really had a lot of territory and opportunities in Bridgend's half, so I think they'd be fairly happy with taking a 3-year and trying to find one of those kicks, contestable kicks from the exit or long kicks to get themselves back down there.
Yeah, 3 points. 3 points, as they say, cup rugby, and we do have extra time in place tonight. I don't know if you've ordered a takeaway later on, Kieran, but just in case.
If you can change the technique,
it could happen. They'll have to the first quarter, and I'm sure Josh Phillips has something to say about that. Josh Phillips.
Priorities tackler, okay?
Yeah, well, he's attributed a third of all of Swansea's points in the Super Rygbi Cymru this year. 33% of their points comes from this young man, 23-year-old. As the lights are switched on at the Dunraven Brewery Field, Josh Phillips, happy with it, picks his tee up, flags go up, and that's the first points of the night, and it goes to the visitors. It's Bridgend 0, Swansea 3.
22 gone.
23-year-old, former Scarlets and Pontypridd. He's still got a lot of rugby to play, but seems pretty assured outside half as over on the far side, Joe Thomas takes a difficult Ben Bennell restart, but it's done. And just outside the 22, Aubrey calls for assistance.
No. Ball's there.
He's not happy. He's not happy with his presentation from his forwards. He has to dig. Now going to be under a little pressure with his box kick. But gets distance on this one. Bridgend will look to counter. Ed Howley looks lively. Caught in midfield. Williams, little slope. Jevons. Out the back to Bennell. Florence. It's looked exciting in the centre, but just offered that too easy to Owen Thomas. Gets it back. Is it play on? Yeah, rip backwards, says Rhys Jones. And Bridgend have a free play if you like. Unsure what to do with it with no scrum half. But Harry Olden says, give it to me. He's well met by 2 or 3 Swansea defenders. Williams to Bennell. A little flatter from Wilkins. They get it to the outside. Jake Thomas. Caught just outside the 22. Jevon steps up again. He had Alfie Llewellyn with him. Didn't offer the tip on. Williams now. Bennell needs to move a little more onto the ball. Lovely ball. There it is. Lewis Jones on the inside to Chris Williams. And Ben Bennell, well, what do I know? He knew what he was doing. He said, I'm flat enough. I don't need to move because I got a flat pass. And he give it to Lewis Jones. We'll give a lovely little inside ball to his scrum half. And all of a sudden, Bridgend hit back straight away. Try time.
Yeah, they did. And they bent them on the far side as well, didn't they? They got a nice little break on the outside. And then they come back through the middle. And every time I've seen Ben, that's a great line. And any good scrum half is on the inside, ready to pick it up.
Yeah, you know all about those lines. Ben Bennell, lovely flat pass. A little show first, and then puts Lewis Jones in. There's lovely hands from the second row. And Williams in the right place at the right time. And that's a pretty easy 2 points for the outside half. And Bridgend take the lead. It's 7 points to 3. We're coming up to 25 minutes played. Well, I thought he needed to move on to it a little bit more, but he knew exactly the pace of the defensive line coming off their line. And just showed the ball, pumped it once, Kieran, and then put a flat ball in to Lewis Jones.
Yeah, that pump is often underestimated in the game, isn't it? I think it manipulates defenders to show where they're going to defend and turn their hips, and he picks the right option. Scott Baldwin won't be happy with that.
No, he was pretty good at restarts himself, and he won't be happy. But Williams does ship it off to Howley. Now he picks his head up. There's a lot of space, and that's a huge kick from the fullback. Lands just outside the 22, and Houston has to go back.
Swansea.
And a great relieving kick from Ed Howley, and he gets it back now with a chance to counter-attack. Picks his head up, little goose step, beats the first defender in the far 5-metre channel, gets his knee to the ground, so Rhys Jones says to release. Bennell again, Sander Tick now, the young outside half. Into position quickly, and a flat pass, a long pass to Ryan Wilkins, who has no other option than to try and steamroll over Ewan Glynn, and he puts his foot in touch. But for me, Ben Bennell now, Kieran, starting to control things at outside half.
He is, and I think he looks really comfortable with ball in hand, and especially those wide passes. I think he's picking the pass long before he's left to go, and he's starting to get a real foothold in the game. And Bridgend looking a lot better when he gets him on the front foot.
Half time. For those of you who don't speak Welsh, we'll be picking our team of the season, Team y Tymor. So look out for that.
Advantage.
Lots of candidates for that one. An advantage to Swansea. Phillips flat pass to his captain Owen Thomas. They get it out there. Joe Thomas gets it to Harry Houston. He's pleasure to watch, the young fullback in open play, darting runs. And yeah, he asked for the penalty and they got it. No clear release that time from Ryan Wilkins. You feel if Swansea is still in this one, Kieran, don't you?
Yeah, and I think they'll be pretty positive about what they've done in the first 26 minutes, albeit they've only had one attack and a disallowed try. But, you know, I think probably the only issue the Swansea have had is a real discipline, and apart from that, they've looked pretty comfortable out there, and there's not much in the game at all, is there?
Yeah, perfect.
I agree. It's a lovely night, isn't it, for running rugby, and Swansea have good momentum. Here's the offence on Ryan Wilkins. No clear release, so just explain that one for us.
Yeah, Lewis, half yard.
I don't know about too much about sticking my head in there, Sean, I'll be honest. But I think the refs are just looking for positive pictures, and I think you just got to be very deliberate with what you do in there.
Thomas rocks out of the would-be maul. Phillips, couldn't quite get the second pass out the back, but Houston picks up the loose ground. This is where he's dangerous. Open play, and up steps Callum Dodd. Haven't seen a lot of him. Glenn with a clear out. Ewan Glynn. Now Thomas. Hooker by trade, but doing so well with the number 7 shirt for Swansea in this second half of the season. Austin, well, playing a bit of sevens himself there. And over the ball is Jevons. And that was a clear picture that Kieran Hardy talked about. Bridgend fans enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it did a lot of good work then, especially in the breakdown. I think they're probably right on the edge there. I think they nearly played the 9 a few times. But it's put in Swansea under pressure, and look, it's a good tackle. They're really quickly onto the ball there, and the ref's got no choice really. I think they're just making a mess in the breakdown and making Swansea's life pretty difficult.
Bit of a double act there, isn't it? The tackle coming in from captain Zach O'Driscoll, and Thomas Jevons over the ball almost already. It's sort of drills that you practice in training, isn't it?
Water off, Swansea. Water off.
So there's a bit of an injury to this young man, Dylan Burrows. Now, Dylan Burrows was on the bench last night for South Wales Police in the Police Cup. So he's on the bench there, but he's happy to start tonight. But he's just rolled his ankle, so no issue with cramp or tiredness, young man. But yeah, South Wales Police in the UK champs, police champs last night, and doubles up for his club tonight. Old school values are still in place, Kieran.
Just about, John, I think. Yeah, fair play to him. I think he might be cramping about 60 minutes, but he's looking right so far.
The challenge at the front from Swansea, but Bridgend have it, and Ben Bennell knew what he was doing, but the pass just didn't go to hand, and Howley again goes to the boot, and that's gone anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's gone straight into Cameron Ellis's hands. He's got Williams. Can't get away from the tackler. One-handed. Playing basketball at scrum half. Support coming in from Alfie Llewellyn. Now Bridgend right on the attack here. Jevons drives his legs. Gets support. Latched on up to the 5-metre line. Just held up. No, it was a maul, said Rhys Jones, and then it's brought to ground. Well, last gasp defence, but brilliant defence from Swansea. As one of those speculative kicks fell into the hands of Cameron Ellis. And you have to think, really, Kieran, there's probably a chance gone begging.
Probably is, and it's a chance out of nothing, really, isn't it? I mean, just puts the ball in the air, and Swansea probably switch off. I think it's probably too far for Harry Houston to come up and compromise the backfield, and he's trying to tell everyone else that it's short, but Bridgend react first, and they come alive off it, and Chris Williams showing all his skills there. Unfortunately for Bridgend, they just get held up at the wrong time, but you know, a positive for them is they are finding a way down the field.
Good defence. You see big number 5, Ben Roberts there with the long hair. Gets congratulations from his fellow players. Now, still a bit of pressure on Swansea here. 7-3 down. Nice play. Aubrey brings Dodd into, does really well to get away from Florence and bring Harry Houston in. They're up to the 22. Dodd again. Now then, he's really coming into his own, the outside centre. Bridgend have numbers over there to counter ruck, but it's moved away to number 8, Kai Davis. Good ball presentation by the back rower. They're playing a bit here now, Swansea. Ambitious stuff. Long pass out to Ewan Glynn. Up came the defence. Ed Howley, that's a tricky one for the full-back. Oh, it nearly bounced into Ewan Glynn's hands. But Ed Howley, so calm under pressure. Tobias, what was he doing there? Ryan Wilkins says, get it down there. And Harry Houston says, let's have a breather, everyone. with a mark. Hands on hips, and some good stuff all round at the moment. Both teams, a lot of hands on hips from a lot of players. The ball's in play. Houston kicks it out. Tell you what, Kieran, let's have a break ourselves. Let's go down to Lauren Jenkins once again.
Bradley Davis sy'n ymuno fi'n bel bron a hwnnw ni. Bradley, look, it's been a fiercely contested first half hour, as you'd expect in a knockout match. What have you made of what you've seen?
Yeah, it's a bit nervous on both teams, if I'm honest. There's a lot of kicking going on, trying a bit of territory. You know, we just got to play in right there as a guess. It's knockout rugby and you don't have much chance after this. So they change the game, but they kick a bit more than they normally do. So it's a proper game, I think, today. It's going to be who can hold the nerve, who can get it off the line in D and slow the ball down in the contact area.
Great. Thanks for your time, Bradley.
That's right, mate. One more real second row. Bradley Davis there. Off to be coached down at the Scarlets next season, which is a promotion for him. Good luck to him. Lewis Jones. They were 1-2 with Ben Bennell that led to the try, but it's gone forward and Bennell disagrees.
Unlucky forward pass.
But it has been given unlucky, says referee Rhys Jones. Don't know whether he truly means that, Kieran.
I'm not sure. I think he probably had to give that one if it was probably forward. But again, positive for Bridgend, you know, going through the phases. Some really physical tackles out there as well. I think the contact area has cooled down a little bit. I think boys are probably a bit more fatigued now going into it. But I think certainly seeing both teams now try and move the ball a bit, especially after the first half an hour.
Yeah, it went down your side.
There's Owen Thomas, the Swansea captain.
Okay, yeah. They brought a bit of weight.
So we still got some rugby to play this season, of course. Weather's getting better. The URC game's coming up, big one for the Scarlets. Leinster come to town, doesn't matter what Leinster side comes to town. Saturday, 5 o'clock, but then there'll be a repeat then of the Wales derby. Ospreys against the Dragons. Saturday night football coming up. Carnarvon play Barry, and that's midday on Saturday, and then Wrexham in their push.
Swansea scrum.
The Women's Cup, they'll have a big derby final next Sunday, 4:45 against Cardiff. So plenty of sport coming up. Dragons, Kieran, we're going to see you in action.
Yeah, and it's the last home game of the season, Sean, so there's a lot on it for us boys. You know, there's a couple of Justin Tipperick and Adam Beer's last home games. Boys that have given a lot to that shirt, tremendous amount to that shirt, and played well every time they've played for the club. So it means a lot to the boys for the last home game, and hopefully we can give them performance of the send-off they deserve.
You're here to that. A little switch play from Josh Phillips. Did it go forward? The Bridgend fan said yes, and Harry Houston gets away. Joe Thomas gets an offload. Oh, that looked a little bit dodgy. We might see a card here. Oh, it's a natural, instinctive reaction coming in from Jake Thomas. It's so unlucky because you know as well as me, Kieran, that it's a natural reaction, but the referee has no alternative than the yellow card.
Eyes on the ball, sorry, Harry.
Yeah, it's definitely a natural reaction. I probably feel for him because it's sometimes one of those where you think you might be able to catch it and it just manages to get away from you at the last second. But another positive for Swansea, I think Harry Houston's been electric every time he's had the ball, and he's made stuff happen for them. And with the yellow card now, hopefully they can apply some more pressure.
Well, he knows it, but there's very little you can do unless you've been in that position. You see, he wants to sort of jockey and put his hands up, and he's thinking, oh, I can't pull out, it's too late, it's gone off his hands. He'll know at that very instant. And here's the pass that the fans were questioning. I think the fact that Harry Houston had got in front made them think it was a forward pass. The fullback looks so dangerous, and now here's a chance. As Liam Edwards, the 21-year-old, wins it in the middle. Now Swansea looking to get a score, to get into the lead and capitalise just for half-time on the extra player. Josh Phillips gets in there. They're over the line. Joe Thomas in there as well, the centre. And Rhys Jones, the referee, puts his arm in the air. We've got the try. And it's young hooker Will Austin. Only had one try this season before that. And there's the happy head coach, Hugh Gustafsson. And Swansea will go into the lead straight after the yellow card. It's 8 points to 7.
Yeah, and it's a huge moment for them in this time of the game, and you know, where the clock is and just before half time, especially the yellow card as well. It could be a game-turning moment, and Swansea be very happy with, you know, the way they've come back into this game, and they've been positive throughout the first half and probably weathered a bit of a storm from Bridgend, and Will Austin does very well there to pick it up, and you know, another one that spent a bit of time with the Ospreys and made his debut this year. He's a good young kid in Swansea Uni, and he's playing well tonight.
Thanks, Jenny.
There's the try scorer, young Will Austin.
Your time check, Jenny?
His 5th appearance this season. Josh Phillips, can he add the extra 2? Coming up to 3.5 minutes to half time. Yellow card to the home side, which we'll have a little look at in a minute.
Good.
Wills Austin then with the try. There he is, Wills Austin. Now let's have a little look at the yellow card again. Well, Harry Houston went to get that, which we thought was a try situation.
3 minutes.
An instinctive reach. It looks worse from that angle, Kieran, doesn't it?
Yeah, and in fairness to him, he looks like he reads the play pretty well. You know, I think he's done his job in standing in the middle and making Harry pass, and he's probably unlucky not to catch it, but yeah.
Referee Rhys Jones makes the call in the bin. Swansea 10-7. We approach half time. Hugh Gustafsson will be so pleased with his charges. Aubrey doesn't find touch. Infield, Jevons to Bennell. Now then, they look to go here. Good chance, Cameron Ellis back inside. Support from the skipper, Zach O'Driscoll. Quick ball for Williams. Up steps Alfie Llewellyn. The carry from the blind side. Williams is there like a flash. Bennell orchestrating things. Has to go himself as Swansea came up hard on the outside. But it's still with Bridgend. Howley stepping up to first receiver. Bridgend looking to get back on terms. Player down, don't forget. Harry Holding. 2 players from Swansea meet him, but he gets the offload away. Williams shows and goes. Little half gap for the scrum half. Holding gets back in the game. Lovely catch coming in from Liam Edwards. Great play here. Oh, Evan Yardley couldn't quite get it. And there's danger again from the Gasman.
Leave it.
Swansea back 3, but Bridgend scramble. Aubrey sees some space. Ryan Wilkins has to cover over that far side as Harry Houston chases him down. The centre puts it back down the trams.
Retreat!
Still in play. Owen Thomas picks his head up. Ewan Glynn looks for some space, finds grass. Where's that going to go? Nasty bounce for Cameron Ellis, but it does so well. Caught by Glynn. It's all go here at the Dunraven Brewery Field. Bennell is caught.
He's won the ball.
Swansea have won that one.
There he comes.
It doesn't come back out, and Bridgend trap it in there. And this could be a chance with just a minute to go to half time.
He won the ball, won the penalty.
For Swansea to extend their lead. It's Joe Thomas. Stole that ball, an experienced centre. Well, at one end, Chris Williams, I thought he got through. It was a good tackle from Kai Davis, and then Harry Holding offloads it. And just when he thought Bridgend might have a chance of going in the corner, and Swansea were on it, quick as a flash, and next thing you know, Josh Phillips has a penalty attempt for this turnover by Joe Thomas. There's Joe Thomas. Josh Phillips now then scored so many points for Swansea as the clock ticks into the red at the end of the first half. This will be the last action. He'll certainly have the distance. It's just whether he has his sights set. Strikes it well. It's gone right through the middle. The flags go up, and that's a good end to a good first half for Swansea. They trailed after going ahead with a penalty, but the try from Chris Williams from the home team put Bridgend in the lead, but a great comeback in the latter stages of the first half. The try from Wills Austin, and now a last-ditch penalty of the first half from Josh Phillips extends Swansea lead, and the half-time in this wildcard first game in Super Rygbi Cymru is Bridgend 7, Swansea 13.
Oes, diddorol. Abertawe ar y blaen, ar yr egwyl, am jyst yr eildro y tymor yma, a mi fydden nhw'n digon fodlon gyda'r perfformiad hanner cynta yna. O ystyried, wnaethon ni sôn cyn y gêm, dechrau digon araf i'w tymor, a maen nhw wedi troi pethau o gwmpas yn mynd dangos.
A fi credu, ffordd bod wedi amddiffyn yn ei gyrraedd mewn agoriadau yna, byd nhw'n bles iawn o hwnna. Gathen nhw cais, gathen nhw sgwrdd Matthew Aubrey yn y cornel, a twyd ddim yn gais yn y diwedd, ond maen nhw'n disgwyl yn dda pan nhw'n mynd i cael y pêl fyd.
Ie, gewn ni ddadansoddi'r cyfle yna yn y man, ond at Pen y Bonta, geithon nhw cyfleoedd i fynd at y pist. Mewn gêm gwpan, weithiau chi'n cymryd y pwyntiau, ond yn dangos i uchelgais nhw heno.
Ie, twyd geithon nhw'r cyfle i fynd am y pist, ond oedd e tu ar llinell 10 metr. Mae hwnna'n cic swmpus i trio cyrraedd y pist. Ond mae eisiau nhw fod mwy effeithiol a mwy cywir yn y dranna'r ca. Ni'n gweld y llinell yn ffeili, ni'n gweld cic da unwaith eto, wedyn dim byd yn dod o'r llinell. Ond hefyd, mae Pen y Bont yn waren dyfn dros ben. So mae eisiau nhw waren llawer mwy fflat. Ni'n gweld nhw pham nhw waren fflat, maen nhw'n mynd trwyddo a maen nhw'n sgori.
Ie, nes di sôn am y cais na, oedd e ddim yn ddilys yn y diwedd Matthew Aubrey, ond yn dangos bod nhw'n gallu creu cyfleoedd. Be nes ti o'r penderfyniad, Ciaran?
Oedd e'n bendant, y penderfyniad iawn yn y diwedd, ond fi'n credu bydd yn bositif i Abertawe yn hanner cyntaf yna, bod nhw'n dangos bod nhw'n gallu sgori ceisiau mas yna. Mae'r bas blaen, ond Matthew Aubrey siarad ni wedi fe cyn y gêm, mae ar y llinell ar y tu fewn yn pigo lan, ond yn anffodus yr achos yn ddim sgori cais, ond maen nhw wedi disgwyl yn dangerous gyda'r pêl.
Ie, Pen y Bont yn gywir gyda chais Chris Williams yn sgorio, ond Ben Bennell ar bas yn dangos fe mae arbenigwr yn y crys 30 yn gallu wneud, Ricky.
Odi, mae gyda'r lwytho yn wych Ben Bennell. Ni'n gweld am yn wneud y peth cywir. A mae chwarae dreslis gan yr ail reng a wedyn Chris Williams. Ond unwaith eto, fi'n credu mae eisiau Ben Bennell mynd at y llinell fwy. Mae fe bach rhy dwfwn. Mae eisiau fe bod mwy fflat.
Weles i hwn yn dod, o fe?
Wel, wedes i fe y cymal cyn ni fi'n credu. Ond, dwi'n bach o look o hwnna. Ond mae eisiau Ben fod lot mwy fflat yn ware. So mae'n rhoi lot fwy o cyfleoedd i'r cynelliau dod wrth i ymyl e.
Fe, gadewch i ni ddadansoddi'r carden Felend arweiniodd yn y pen draw at cais Abertawe, roedd nhw ar y blaen. Be nes i o hwn, Ciaran?
Mae penderfyniad cywir yn y diwedd. Mae'n y bendant y carden Felend yn y gêm nawr. A y bositif to i Abertawe, bod nhw wedi dangos bod nhw'n lli sgori sgarfa symudol efo Pen y Bont. A fi'n credu mae'r blaenwyr wedi dod i ware ar orwyr. A fi'n credu mae cwpl o chwaraewyr wedi aros lan i Abertawe yn hanner cyntaf, a'n ywedig Harry Houston yn siarad i biti fe cyn y gêm.
Ie, ddysgarmas yn arfi Ben y Bont wythnos diwetha, ond Abertawe cystal.
Ie, mae wedi bod yn arfi i Abertawe, mae'n fwy o'r blwyddyn, ond sy'n nhw wedi bod yn cywir, fy mae rhaid i nhw fod i cael y ceisiau. Ond ni'n gweld pobl fel Owen Thomas, mae'n neud gwaith caib ar aw, i'r bach o'r sgori tu ôl i fe. Mae Owen wedi bod yn y safle yna, tro ar ôl tro, mae'n gwybod beth sy'n eisiau gwneud.
Right, mae digon o chwaraeon dal i ddod ar S4C dros y diwrnodau nesaf. Cynarfon sy'n herio Bari am ganol dydd, Dydd Sadwrn, sgorio yn fyw i chi ar S4C. Dydd Sadwrn am 5 o'r gloch, y Scarlet sy'n herio Leinster, wedyn cyfle ailweld gêm y gweilch yn erbyn y dreigiau yn hwyrach. Dydd Sul Wrexham sy'n croesawu Caerdydd mewn ffeinal, fel gêm gwpan yw honno. A wedyn, nos Fawrth nesaf, uchafbwyntiau Clwb Rygbi S4C i chi. Y trydydd o fai, Llanymddyfri yn herio Pontypool, y rownd go gynderfynol gyntaf ni'n darlledu. Mi fyddwn ni nôl ar Sadwrn 10 o fai am y rownd gynderfynol, a wedyn mi fyddwn ni wrth gwrs yn darlledu y rownd derfynol i chi. A nawr, bod y tymor arferol wedi benni, mae'n teimlo fel amser naturiol iawn i ddewis cais y tymor.
Defnydd yn llwytho yn aros am y bêl. Billy McBride, digon o ddynion allan ar yr asgell i rygbi Gogledd Cymru. Earl Jones gyda'r bêl allan i Rhys Tiwdor yn mynd am y gornel ac am orffeniad gan yr asgellwr. Evan Lloyd, Rhys Weldon, rownd y tu allan. Cais o'r safon ucha i Glyn Ebwy. Harry Rhys Weldon o dan y pist. Y bel allan I Ben Roberts drwy'r dwylo cyn darganfod Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas yn sgwario, mynd i'n ffordd arall. Lewis Edwards ar yr asgell, y bas bale basket sy'n mewn I Harry Houston. Un arall I Matthew Aubrey. Cais o'r safon uchaf gan Abertawe.
Hawley yn gwrth ymosod yn hyfryd, yn agor lan. Cillell trwy fenyn, Hawley. Fe'n penderfynu cicio. Wilkins ar ôl I. O, dwi'n cael taw chwyth I hwnna. Ie. Sgwrs rhwng y tîm dyfarnu a'r cais yn sefyll.
A dyma'r canlyniadau I chi. A chymod be, dim ond un pleidlais oedd ynddi. Harry Rees-Weldon yn fuddigol, ond sgwlwch ar hwnna. Ryan Wilkins sgoriodd ar y ca yma wythnos diwetha yn go agos. Dim ond gwybod lle oedd y gogleddwyr yn pleidleisio I Rhys Tudor, achos fydd e'n gosod ei sgil anhygol I orffen y cais yna. Ond 4 cais gret. O'ch chi'n cytuno? O'ch chi'n cytuno gyda'r enillydd?
Ie, twyd, o'n i'n sylwebu ar y gêm na, fi'n cofio fe, twyd, oedd hwnna wedi dod yn gêm na digwyddodd lot trwy gydol e. So, yn disgwyl nôl, oedd e'n cais wych.
Ie, sim botel o champers gyda ni, neu medal yn anffodus, ond mae e'n anrhydedd I sgorio cais y tymor. Ni'n mynd I droi'n sylw nawr at tîm y tymor, a dwi ddim eisiau bod hwn yn anfon unrhyw yn grac. Awgrymiadau yw rhain a wrth gwrs mae modd anghytuno. Ond dyma tîm y tymor I chi. O sawl ymgeisydd ym mhob safle I fod yn onest, ond newn ni ddechrau gyda'r blaenwyr. Joe Franchi yn fachwr. Mae fe na yn benna, wel mae wedi bod yn gyson trwy gydol y tymor, wedi sgorio 2 gais ar 15. Ond be wneud I o'r rheng flaen, Joe Powell yn yr ail reng, Ricky, dy ddewis di?
Ie, o'n I wedi cael bach o barn yno fe, Lauren. Mae Joe wedi bod wych am blynydde erbyn hyn. Ti'n Llywarau yn y reng ôl, mae Llywarau yn yr ail reng. Mae reng flaen na, maen nhw wedi bod yn gyson trwy gydol o flwyddyn. Fi'n credu bod hwnna'n gywir. Pobl fel Ben Roach a Scott Matthews, maen nhw'n profiadol, ond maen nhw'n gallu warau'r safon uwch pob wthnos. Fi'n credu bod lot wel, mae hwnna'n wir I gweld.
Ie, enw eraill, gallech chi codi enw Sam Scaff neu rhywun fel Morgan Allen, ond falle bod ni ddim moyn rheng ôl I gyd o Bontypool. Newn ni troi'n sylw nawr at yr olwyr. Billy McBride, prif sgoriwr y gyngrair. Kieran Meek yn un sy'n agos iddo fe, ond unrhyw un yn dal dy sylw di, Kieran?
Fel mewnwr, fel I Rhys wedi bod ar y safon ma, digon o brofiad fe mewn chwaraewr hynod bwysig I Llanymddyfri pob tymor, felly mi sgori ceisiau, y ffordd mae fe mo'n waru'r gêm. A mae cwpl o chwaraewyr ifanc fyna fe, Corey Lewis Jenkins sydd wedi bod yn wych I Aberafon, wedi hala lot amser y fe yn y gweilch. A eto profiad Billy McBride felly sydd wedi cael mewn yn y tîm fyd.
Ie, Corey Lewis Jenkins, mae fe wedi sgorio 14 cais, mae fe'n drydydd ar y rhestr. Unrhyw ddadl gyda ti, Ricky, neu ti'n meddwl hapus?
O'n I o'r farn bydde Adam Warren wedi wneud y tîm o'r dymor, ond wella bod hwnna bach yn bias yn dod o'r Llanymddyfri.
Right, wel mae'r safle 30, falle mwy na unrhyw safle arall wedi sbarduno drafodaeth. Ond newyddion, wel newydd dod I law hyn o ma, bod Dan Lydiat mynd I ymddeol o rygbi broffesiynol. Mi fydd e'n aros gyda'r dreigiau yn hyfforddi, ond mae wedi bod yn was ffyddlon i'r gêm yng Nghymru, a mae'n un ti wedi chwarae a dros Gymru. Be wneud I o'r hyn mae fe wedi rhoi i'r gêm dros y blynyddoedd, Kieran?
Fe wedi rhoi lot i'r gêm dros y blynyddoedd. Y dyn yw hefyd. Credu na beth sy'n bwysig a na beth bydd y chwaraewyr yn cofio. Y ffordd oedd waru'r gêm, oedd mor ffrwydrol yn y dacl. Newydodd i'r gêm a'r ffordd oedd Cymru am ddiffyn yn blynyddau. A pob clod I fe, mae wedi bod yn wych yn ei yrfa fe. A gobeithio wneud fe mwynhau y penod nesaf.
Mwynhau'r ffarm. Mwy amser dy fe ffarmo nawr. Pob lwc I Dan Lydiat dros y blynydde nesaf. Mae'n bles iawn, dy fi wedi bod prif weithredwr y gweilch. Lance Bradley yn ymuno â ni'n fyw nawr. Lance, a vital game tonight in the Ospreys region. Your thoughts, first of all, on the S4C, the first season, how it helped develop players. Do you view it as a success?
I think it's been a great success. We've been very pleased with working with Swansea and Bridgend and Aberafon. It's given a lot of our younger players a lot more exposure to good quality competition, and there's a few of them on show tonight, and yeah, it's been a great success.
We know that this stadium was a potential option for you to move to next year. You went with St Helens in the end. You submitted your pre-application, is that right, yesterday?
That's right, yeah.
Confident of seeing the team play there this year, next season?
For next season, yeah, we're confident that that's going to happen. We published the initial plans yesterday. That's been received very well. We've had great support from the council, so yeah, fingers crossed it's all going to go ahead smoothly.
Lance, your pre-application, you're very confident of that. It's a big financial, not strain, but opportunity. How are you looking on that front to make sure that it's delivered on time and the way that you want it to be delivered to attract the people into the region as you feel fit?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, and it is a big financial commitment. Swansea Council have invested heavily, and obviously we're investing as well, and we're getting some support from WRU, so that's great as well. We've got plans that we believe will allow us to be in for the second block of next season, and we've had a lot of interest. We've taken over 400 deposits for season tickets for next season from new season ticket holders, not the existing ones. So we're pretty hopeful that it's going to be the success that we all want it to be.
Lance, I've got to ask you about the PRA, the professional agreement yet to be signed between the region and the union. It's an agreement that affects all levels of the game. Richard Collier would put a deadline on it. Any news?
We're in a good place on it. There's a couple of details to sort out. The Cardiff situation was a little bit of a bump in the road, but I think that's all it is, so I'm still confident that will all be okay.
Confident it will be signed.
Yeah, it will.
And we had some news from the union today. They're putting a tender out for, well, they're asking you, each region, would they like a stake in the women's game? Would you like to introduce a team into the Celtic Challenge? What's the Ospreys' viewpoint on that?
It's something that we're very keen on. I was at Gloucester when we revised our support for the Gloucester Hartbury team, which has ended up with them winning the championship for 3 years in a row. So I've been passionate about women's rugby for a long time, and we would love to have a women's team at St Helens.
Brilliant. Get back to your pint of Guinness, Lance. I
Thank
saw
you
you posting it on Twitter. Enjoy the second half. Diolch yn fawr. A nawn ni ail ymuno a'n tîm sylwebu. Kieran Hardy will be joining Sean Holly in English, Ricky Gessie a Griff McKee in y Gymraeg.
Some interesting half-time chat with Lauren there as we resume the second half of this first wildcard game, the Super Rygbi Cymru, all to play for. Bridgend still with 14 players on the field and trailing by 13 points to 7. Ben Bennell goes early to the skies, into the floodlights, and Harry Houston does really well under that one. Well, it was a Wills Austin try straight after the yellow card, and then a Josh Phillips penalty that has taken Swansea 6 points clear. Lots to play for still in this one. A big hit coming in.
No ruck.
From Evan Yardley there, and Swansea have to kick it back downfield. Bennell does really well on the bouncing ball. Has he got on the outside of the foot? Oh, it's a lovely little kick from the outside half. Puts Bridgend on the front foot early in the second half as we've got a couple of former Welsh internationals there. Bradley Davis, the tall one. Matthew Morgan, dare I say, the short one. It's just ex-players who are coached all around the place, Kieran Hardy. I can't believe it. It's all the way through to Johnny Alder from the WRU, believe it or not. I'm feeling old. And having you next to me with your six-pack makes me feel even older.
I'm quite old, my Sean. I'm not no spring chicken.
Listen, tell me, any chance of seeing 2 Ospreys scrum halves on the Japan tour this summer?
Okay, 5.
I think there's an argument for it, definitely, isn't there? I think so. It probably all depends on Thomas's selection with the Lions. You know, I think that would definitely open both slots up. But it's, again, we don't know who's going to coach summer tour, and all he can do is play well and have your fingers crossed, isn't it?
Announcement from the WRU tomorrow. Apparently, a prominent announcement. So we don't know what that will be just yet, whether director of rugby or a head coach. We'll have to wait until 1 o'clock tomorrow. But watch that space as Swansea try and get out of trouble here, deep in their own half. Well, that's a great maul. It's taking it right up towards the 10-metre line, and try scorer Wills Austin is right at the back of that. And now Aubrey sends Joe Thomas, who tried to flick it out the back, and it went loose for a minute.
3, side entry.
Well, it was side entry at the maul, and that was from Liam Tobias. So, get out of jail free card for Swansea. Yeah, you know, both yourself and Ruben have been playing really well. Here's the infringement. We see number 3, Liam Tobias. Well, he's at the back of that maul at the moment. Well, it looks pretty harsh to me, that one.
I don't know too much about that kind of stuff, Sean, I'll be honest, but if I was a scrum half for Swansea like Matthew Aubrey there, I'd be pretty pleased to see that the arm go up in the air.
I'm pretty sure Bradley Davis will have something to say about that on this touchline here now. But yeah, well, good luck anyway with the rest of the season, Kieran, and selection for the summer.
Thanks, Sean.
Back to the action. Wills Austin, as he likes to be known as. Matthew Aubrey, flat pass, Joe Thomas. No, this time gets it right with Phillips. But Phillips' pass goes a little awry, but Harry Houston can't escape the clutches of the Bridgend defence. Dav Davis, the loose set, pushes it on to Callum Dodd. The Bridgend's defence is intact. They'll soon be having their player back, Jake Thomas, from the bin. So they just need to hold fast here for a minute or two.
Take it back, take it back.
Josh Phillips goes to the air, across to Iwan Glynn. Is that a little too far? Well, that's a bit complacent from Swansea. Let's let Bridgend off the hook. And they get a line out just inside the Swansea half. Bit loose.
Yeah, it is a bit loose, and you know, looking at where they were going and the speed of ball, it probably was the right decision. It's probably just a bit of execution, isn't it? I think if that lands in the field of play, they could arguably a contestable there.
Lovely footwork on the sideline by somebody. Third eye watching that one as Evan Yardley shapes and goes to the middle again. That was nearly stolen by Swansea, but Bridgend's are away. Tom Florence, good carry over the halfway line. It's a quick ball around the corner. Comes Harry Olding. Williams wanted them to go around the corner, but they were set with Jevons on this side. It's there for the scrum half again. Burnell now shaped the pass, but then dinks it over the top, and it did get into the hands of Dylan Burrows. But now it's gone forward, and it's been a little bit loose in the middle third. Can Bridgend hold out? Next stoppage, they'll return to 15 players as Joe Thomas gets it on the outside to Iwan Glynn. Lovely little dink into space by the winger. Back goes Zach O'Driscoll, but Glynn gets the bounce. Oh, I don't know whether that was an infringement or a bit of football style diving behaviour, but Ryan Wilkins nevertheless has to scamper back to his own try line. This is dangerous. They need to be careful here. Yeah, they have to get it away from that try line.
5, off the yard. Use it! Stand still, Bridgend, stand!
Difficult kick.
Wingers on!
There from Ed Howley, but he does so well just to get it away. Still in play, Josh Phillips, captain Owen Thomas. Open on the 45, runs Joe Thomas, and good speed from the skipper, but a great tackle coming in on him. Ben Burnell tries to get that ball. Still with Swansea, Phillips. Oh, lovely ball at Kai Davis, who slides through the middle, and they couldn't hold on until the yellow card came back on, and Josh Phillips, just a little darting run, puts Kai Davis through the middle and under the post, and Swansea get their second try. Well, that makes things interesting now, Kieran.
Oh, it definitely makes things interesting, and nothing more than Swansea deserve probably after the last couple of minutes. And you know, Josh Phillips there running across field, waiting for someone to come off him. And you know, it's fair play to Kai Davis. He picks a hell of a line here and goes through under the post untouched.
Yeah, we can play on from that. Yeah.
Good finish, yes, but lovely creation from Josh Phillips. Little sort of weaving run that just held the Bridgend defence. And Kai Davis says, "Thank you very much." Big number 8 goes under the sticks. Again, an easy conversion for Josh Phillips. Bridgend need to be careful here. There's that sort of in-to-out run. And picked the line, Kai Davis, lovely angle.
Yeah, and as soon as he gets outside the first defender, Sean, it puts the next defender in doubt, doesn't it? And I think he's got to jam in, and then, you know, they're all on slightly different pages, and Kai Davis picks a great line there under the post, but Josh Phillips does really well to hold the ball up there.
Well, there is the try scorer, Kai Davis. Now we are back to 15 v 15, and we have a replacement. Well, Luke Price is coming on. Ben Burnell stays on the field, so 210 stay on. Ryan Wilkins is the man coming off. Whether he got hurt on that scurry back to his own try line, I don't know, but we'll see where Ben Burnell ends up. Probably in the centre, I would have thought. And the turnover. Straight. How often does that happen? I mean, they call it a coach killer, and I agree. You just score a try, and then from the restart, there's a turnover.
Yeah, and it's a frustrating one for the team, isn't it? Because I think you put the pressure straight back on yourself, and it's something that a lot of teams actually work on a lot, isn't it? It's that getting out after scoring. It's probably the hardest part of the game, is getting back downfield sometimes. They're probably a bit unfortunate there. I mean, they lose the ball, but now they're under pressure, and Jen back to 15 as well.
It's seen as the third set piece, you know, scrum line out, restart, and we've seen a few problems have been caused both sides tonight, and now Bridgend have an opportunity. They've got it all to do. There's still 2 scores in it and plenty of time on the clock, but it's 20 points to 7, and they want to get on that score sheet pretty quickly. Here's Bennell now playing at inside centre. Great run from the youngster. It's a little loose, but Harry Oldham does quite well to wrestle possession away. Yardley with a little step and go. Williams is there quickly, and the referee blows.
It's a takeout. It's a takeout. No clear release.
And it's getting a little touchy.
Yeah, I agree.
Luke Price, who's just come on, getting a little involved.
Back, please.
Not sure that's a bit of a mismatch, but
You didn't release the ball. Back away.
referee Rhys Jones blew, and they're still having a go at each other.
It's everything you want to see, Sean, isn't it? In these games and these derby games, and you know, it obviously means a lot to the players when they show that kind of emotion. So it's great for the game, and you know, it's going to make for an interesting last half an hour.
Yeah, I went in for a good finish to this game. Long way to go yet. 13 points to good. Our visitors, Abertawe, Swansea. Now, you will see what Luke Price was a little aggrieved about. I think it might have something that happened just there. Yeah, he's not happy with that, and rightly so. A little hook of the leg.
Doesn't look bad.
Outside halves tend to do that when there's lots of support around them. Let's go down to Lauren again.
Wel, fi'n meddwl dyma'r tro cyntaf fi'n cael cwmni band rock ar Super Rygbi Cymru. Those Damn Crows wedi seithi I Rifin yn siartiau album y Deyrnas Unedig. Shane, Ronnie, Lloyd, David, thank you so much for joining me. Firstly, what is a rock band doing on the Brewery Field on a Thursday night?
Well, the Crows coming down to support the Ravens. We've collabed with them last season, so we're just here to support. We've just done our last show, a record store in-store today, on a 2-week tour. So we just thought we'd come down and support the boys.
Going to rejoin us in a sec. There may be a try here.
Well, if you're a Bridgend fan, you want to go to Lauren Jenkins.
We jinxed them there. But look, huge congratulations. Number 1 in the album charts. Yeah, your reaction, did you see it coming? How have you celebrated this week?
Well, we were actually on the tour bus in a car park in Manchester at the time, and we got there, so it was like 10 in the morning, and we had the news through, and it sounded a bit crazy. I think a crew were upstairs, thought someone had invaded the bus and something had happened, and we were all celebrating downstairs, and yeah, it was pretty nuts at the time, but yeah.
And it's worth emphasising, you are Bridgend boys, through and through.
Yeah, all Bridgend boys, so yeah, and we like to support our town in any way we can.
And just quickly, like, prediction for the game. How do you see this one going tonight?
Well, I got to say Bridgend, don't I? I got to say Bridgend. So yeah, come on, Bridgend.
Diolch yn fawr. Thanks for your time, guys.
Those Damn Crows. The band, of course. And well, We were away. There was a huge opportunity for Bridgend. We thought they got over. And then Swansea wrestle the ball away and come away again. But Bridgend now, who have thrown Corey Lewis on, wearing 16 in place of Evan Yardley. Starting to make some changes here. That's great ball, one in the middle. Now, Jake Thomas looking to atone for his yellow card, getting involved straight away. Burnell, second playmaker now with Price on a 10. And now immediately he makes an impact. Ed Howley into the 22. Straight and lovely there, Price. And on comes Corey Lewis. Eager to impress. Great carry from the replacement hooker. Back to the short side. Price, the show and go, gets the offload. Chance here, offload from the floor. Try time for Bridgend. Straight back in it. That's a great finish. Superb try over a couple of phases. And you have to say, Kieran Hardy, that two replacements heavily involved in that. Luke Price, the outside half, and hooker Corey Lewis, making a big difference already.
Yeah, two big moments from the two subs there, and I think it's a good team try in the end, isn't it? The way they kept the ball alive, and they go into the width, really. And I think what was key in the try is Luke Price turning the corner when he gets the ball out the back, and he really puts the defender in a lot of pressure. And after that, they just come alive, don't they? They stay on top, they go through, and it's a big carry, and then they find a way to keep the ball alive again. And it's a great team try, and Chris Williams, again, the beneficiary of another support line. So it's a great team try.
Two good offloads there. Price first on his feet, and then Thomas Jevons off the floor. At the presence of mind to know that Williams is there, and that's an excellent try from Bridgend. Great response. An important kick from Luke Price. He made a very important kick last week. Last ditch kick, of course, to beat Llanddyfri. Experience now, 10. Strikes it really well. Is he happy with it? Yes, he is. The flags go up, and all of a sudden, we've got a 6-point game, a one-score game. Bridgend are back in it. It's 14 points to 20.
Yeah, Sean, and you know what happens now? It's the kickoff, isn't it? It's the dreaded kickoff. But you know, when you score a good try and stuff, it's when you're at your most vulnerable, then, isn't it? Because you seem to relax and think that you've done a good job scoring 7 points. So it's important for them to get back downfield, really, and because they're on the up at the moment.
And it is a difficult one to gather, but Cameron Ellis does well in the end to gather it. Now, Williams using all of his experience to marshal his troops. Harry Holden
use it.
Moving towards the touchline, calls his forwards closer.
Hold the kick, hold the kick.
And puts the box kick away, so they've got away with it for now. Oh, it's a contestable kick and a great challenge there between Harry Houston and who was it? I think it was Cam Ellis who's hurt. Ref says play on, and all of a sudden Josh Phillips is away. Transfers the ball, vital tackle from Florence in midfield. It's an advantage, says Rhys Jones. The crowd aren't happy with that one. Aubrey plays the advantage, dinks it into space. Could go anywhere, Harry Houston. Met his match in Ed Howley. And they're having a little go at each other, the two fullbacks. Very similar in stature, similar in look, similar in play. No punches thrown, just a few nasty faces thrown around, and they'll come back.
You know, and again, it's a great option by Matthew Aubrey, isn't it? It probably looks a bit risky, but they're all on the same page, and they've loaded the backfield well to go, and they end up getting a penalty out of it, and another chance for them to put pressure on Bridgend. And I think taking the 3 is probably a sensible option considering the last 5 minutes.
A little smiles in the end, and this is interesting. Well, you've been down pitch side, Kieran. Any breeze out there at all? Or?
No, there isn't a breeze down there, and you know, the kickers have all kicked pretty well, haven't they? And they've all been fairly comfortable kicking their goals. So I think it's a sensible decision from Swansea to take the 3, particularly after the last 5 minutes or so, take a sting out of Bridgend and try and start that momentum.
As you say there, like 4v4. We saw his lucky Cars Crocs, Lightning McQueen. He wore on his way in. Brings him good luck. He's 100%. This is from 40 metres. Longest kick for him tonight. Steps up. Likes it. And why not? It's gone into the car park at the back. He's got another 10 metres on that one, and Josh Phillips continues his fine kicking form. Takes it 2 scores clear.
16 again, yeah?
So as it stands
16.
then,
Wash your hands, yeah?
just a reminder that Swansea finished bottom of the Super Rugby Cymru. And this is what John Alder was saying earlier, Kieran, that there's jeopardy still with this wild card. You know, they could potentially, if they hold on to a lead, go to a quarter-final and still in with a chance, having finished bottom.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a positive thing, isn't it, Sean? Because they've probably got better as the season's gone along, and they probably struggled up until Christmas time, and been in a couple of close games as well, which they could have won. So it's given them an opportunity. They're a young group, and they probably needed a bit of time together to get better throughout the season.
It's not over yet, though. Ed Howley. We've got a game in our hands here, that's for sure. As up steps Alfie Llewellyn, and it's a little slow now. We're looking for a penalty there. Bridgend.
Okay, use it now.
Williams. And the no real pressure. It's a poor kick. And now it's loose. And Swansea are dangerous when it's loose, but not if you throw it into touch like that. I think Rhys Jones will go back for the knock-on. Bit scrappy there, and understandably.
No, Vantis, knock-on.
Yeah, it is scrappy, and a lot of those contestable kicks have ended up being a scrap battle, isn't it? And teams fighting for possession over it, and sometimes it's the best form of attack, isn't it? Off those loose balls, the balls that end up anyway, and this is the team that reacts first and reacts well that usually benefits from it.
Interesting that Hugh Gustafsson decides to spends the game on the far side on his own. He's got a radio, of course, but contrasting that, Scott Baldwin with Matthew Jones upstairs in the gantry, Bradley Davis and Matthew Morgan down pitch side. I always felt pitch side was too emotional, Kieran. I had to get up out of the way, a bit like Gustafsson. Otherwise you get too embroiled in things. You can't make informative decisions then when you're too emotional, but here we are, everyone's different. At the moment, Gustafsson will be enjoying himself over there as Phillips pumps it into the air. He wants that to be outside the 22, and it is. Great take from Howley. Lovely ball to Williams. Back inside the fullback, but who was there? But Ed Thompson, the tight head, in the passing channel. And now Swansea have it again. Dav Davis plays scrum half. Big tackle coming in, this time from Lewis Jones, who's already had a big part to play. Oh, that was high on Joe Thomas. They play advantage, they will. And Aubrey has a chance to go. So free play for Swansea. And back they go, and on the evidence, Kieran, of Josh Phillips' last strike for goal, then you wouldn't be surprised if he went same again.
No, I think he's obviously confident at the moment in his goal kicking as well, isn't he? And I think he did sign for the corner there, but just before I said it. But I think, you know, either option here is a good option for Swansea. I think they haven't had too much of the ball in the last 10 minutes, so going to the corner and potentially keeping the ball in Bridgend's 22 might be a good option for them as well.
It's an error from Tom Florence. It's, you know, 12 on 12. He just needs to go low there, side him down. They were marked up, and
22, boys. 22.
Maybe a bit of tiredness there, but it's an easy penalty for Rhys Jones to give. And Josh Phillips, surprisingly, from our company position, turns that one down.
Quicker, Swansea. Last chance.
Already 9 points. Would have taken them 12, so I understand that they want more points to take it 3 scores clear. I get that. But they are left with about 20 metres or so to go, and the maul has worked well for Swansea so far. Wills Austin, the hooker, already scored 1 try. And that is motoring forward again. It's a great maul from Swansea, and Aubrey now looks to use it. Joe Thomas steps up as first receiver. Inside, outside. Luke Price with a tackle. Dav Davis. Good carry again from the loose set. Alfie Llewellyn tries to rip it away from him. Aubrey. There's Wills Austin. Hungry for a second. Aubrey, quick ball. Harry Houston is jinking feet. Plenty of Bridgend shirts there. Good defence, but Aubrey now ships it out wide on the left-hand side. And Tom Edwards, who's had very little to do tonight, was in the right place at the right time. Swansea get reward for going for the corner, and the crowd has gone a little bit quiet here at the Dunraven Brewery Field.
Yeah, and it's a great decision to go for the corner, isn't it? I think obviously they back their driving maul, and they've
get some good joy out of it there, get an advantage, and then the backs come alive. And what's probably good from Swansea there is the way they're coming around the corner. I think, you know, they come around the corner almost like they're racing Bridgend around the corner to the far edge. And you know, Matthew Aubrey showing his experience there. There's enough room to go down there to the winger, and it's an easy finish for him in the end.
People shouldn't underestimate Tom Edwards' position in there. He knew where it was coming and went the full width of the field to ensure that he was flat, caught it and fell over the line so the defence couldn't get to him.
Yeah, and I think it's everything that 9's probably looking for, or a 10. You know, they hold the width and give you the option to go there if it's the quickest route to the try line.
I think you would have showed him go there, Kieran, if I'm honest, but there we are. Phillips then. Well, he swung it round. He's full of confidence, this outside half. Let's go down to Lauren Jenkins once again.
5 Bridgend. 5 Bridgend.
Hugh Gustafson yn cadw cwmni fi. Wel, am amser o bosib i ennill eich gêm gyntaf oddi cartre. Chi mewn rôleth ar hyn o bryd. Beth ydy wneud o berfformiad y tîm di?
Boys ifanc yn chwarae dda. Y tywydd yn helpu ni. Ni'n mwyn chwarae rygbi. Mae pac yn grif yn y môl a scrum. Ni'n cael platform i backs ni. Ond jyst gweld neis i boys yn mwyn gweld hynder mas na.
Josh Phillips, oedd e'n sôn am ei grocsec yn y gêm, yn dod â bach o look iddo fe. Mae wedi bod mor gawer. Bron yn bod yn berffaith heno.
Pa i gweud na i fe, ie. Edrych mae Josh, 22 mae'n mas na, 21, so mae'n chwarae mas na. Mae'n true leader, ond mae'n gweld siarad i'r Ricky cyn y gêm. Mae boys ifanc yn chwarae gyda ni, a nhw'n teg y tymor i dysglu yn teimlo hyder i Swansea.
Diolch am damser i.
Well, straight from the kick-off, Bridgend superbly regained the ball.
We had a lot of repeated improvements for rolling away first half. First one in a while, but warning for you. No, not them yet. Okay, one not rolling here. Okay.
Joe Thomas trying it on both teams. Reece Jones clearly talking to Joe Thomas. You feel Luke Price has to go for the corner here because that conversion, Kieran, took it from a 14-point lead to 16. So, you know, 2 converted tries is not enough anymore.
Yeah, and that's the scoreboard pressure you get when you take the 3s and then score a 7 straight after, isn't it? And puts all the pressure on Bridgend now to score in the next 5 minutes to give him something to chase in the last 10.
Well, it's a good kick from Price, right in the corner.
Time's off.
No surprise, Hugh Gustafson is praising scrum and line out as a former front row forward himself. Now, on the last conversion, watch Josh Phillips here, beautiful kick. Let's just watch his reaction. He's given the hush to the home supporters. I mean, as a kicker, you can expect that one a little bit from the crowd. You learn that as he goes through his career.
Probably just shows his confidence at the moment, Sean, doesn't it? He's playing well tonight, and I think he's probably taking the game by the scruff of the neck at the moment.
Well, he'll be wearing his Lightning McQueen Crocs if they get through to the quarter-final. It's been a good crowd here at the Dunraven Brewery Field. Good loyal supporters here at Bridgend. A sprinkling of Swansea fans too, of course, not that far.
Okay, time on.
Now then, what can Bridgend muster up? They've got another penalty. There could be a yellow card coming here. They've had the warning, Swansea. Bridgend piling the pressure. It's still going forward. They scored the try. Well, they needed to. Kieran mentioned they needed to score in the next 5 minutes. They've done it within a minute. Corey Lewis, the replacement hooker, gets over. And Bridgend are on the comeback.
Yeah, and it's from that penalty, isn't it? And fair play to them, they go into the corner and back in the driving maul. And what's probably impressive in that maul is it looked like it was going nowhere for a while, and they stayed patient, and then the forwards felt that it was moving, obviously, and then Corey Lewis benefits from a strong forward showing from Bridgend.
Jenny seen pictures late with the sack on that one?
I suppose the only thing that comes from that is the penalty has been forgotten about, the advantage, so the potential yellow card. That'll still be in the ref's mind from the warning. Important kick from Luke Price. He's missed it. Well, not serious damage done. Still a two-score game. It's 19 points to 30, 11-point margin. So they still require 2 tries, one of which needs to be converted and shut Swansea out. And plenty of time on the clock left. Phillips, deep, down to the far side, well gathered by Cameron Ellis, who catches and kicks. Harry Houston, the goose step, and the little step beats another defender. So many defenders beaten from the young fullback. To Callum Dodd, over on the far side, carry from the centre. Wills Austin, show on the inside to Dav Davis, and then carries. Tackle coming in by Bridgend is good. Oh, and the line speed is good, but it's fallen to Houston, who offloads. Surely one of those has gone forward. Yes, says Rhys Jones.
No advantage.
Great line speed coming in for Bridgend. Forced the turnover and the hurried pass. It's just getting a little edgy out there, isn't it?
15 and a half.
Well, here it comes. The pressure coming in from Tom Florence on Ben Roberts, and then, well, at least one of those was forward.
Yeah, that's what line speed does, isn't it, Sean? I think it forces skill errors out of the opposition. You know, if there's not line speed there, they probably are getting those passes away quite nicely and bending them on the outside. So just to show how important that line speed is in the middle and puts people under real pressure.
Time on when you're ready, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, and you've got to be brave to get up there. I used to say, or we used to say at the Auspice, Kieran, you're 100% right or 100% wrong. In other words, you can't be half-hearted, you've got to go.
Let's go. Seconds. Crouch. Spine. Sit.
Pressure from Swansea, but a good scrum from Bridgend. Williams is set free. Bennell, show inside. Oh, he nearly got freer from Edwards then. So close. Bridgend on the front foot. At the back to Price. Tom Florence now. Well, he shaped to go for a long one, but it was just too far for him to pass.
Good 16.
Williams comes back to the short side. Got some replacements on now. Dan Bartlett. When 19 breaks through, Bartlett looks for support. Ball present back. Williams is on hand. Alfie Llewellyn. Bennell. The long pass into the wide channel. Ed Howley steps back inside, gets himself free into the 22 of Swansea. Bridgend piling the pressure on. They need 2 scores. Harry Holden. He's been a willing carrier all night. Williams, he could have sniped there. Price looks out the back, but shapes to the front line.
Let it come.
To Liam Tobias. And Price steps up again. He has Burnell, who ships it on to Zach O'Driscoll. Lovely little offload there now. Jake Thomas wrestles with Joe Greaves. Bridgend going through the phases here. It's 3 tries apiece. But Swansea have the advantage with Josh Phillips' boot. Price stands flat. Brings in try scorer Corey Lewis, the replacement hooker. But it just got ripped free and knocked on from Swansea. And players just getting a little tired now, Kieran, as we get into the business end of the game.
Yeah, they are, and I think that's where one team's going to stand up and get the best out of these moments. But you know, Bridgend going through phases there, asking questions of Swansea in defence and getting in behind them. It's a great carry and a spin out the tackle, to be fair to them, and then they take a couple of edges. Ed Howley gets a nice touch on the outside as well, and then unfortunately just comes a little bit unstuck in the end. But it's what we wanted to see, isn't it, on the way they're moving the ball now, and both teams got to play a little bit.
Yeah, rip forward, yeah.
A little bit of a break, so coming up, rest of the season in the SRC. We've got some big games coming up. I mean, Llandovery and Pontypool. That's a big one. 3rd of May, 5 o'clock. And then we have a roundup on the 10th of May at midday. And we've got semi-finals. Well, there's so many big games now. Cup rugby, if you like, all the way through. And plenty to watch on S4C.
Okay, bind up.
Follow your team.
Yeah, happy. Okay,
And
time's
follow
on.
the Super Rygbi Cymru. We still got the first wildcard game to resolve here tonight at the Dunraven Brewery Field. Bridgend midfield scrum in the 22 of Swansea. Jevons to Williams to Bennell. He shows to Ed Howley. He breaks through. Bennell, it's the old 1-2. It looked really easy. It was beautifully created. And Ben Bennell and Howley have looked a threat all night with ball in hand. And I mentioned the old 1-2, a little blow of the cheeks from Scott Baldwin, but Bridgend are right back in it now, Kieran Hardy.
Oh, definitely, and I think them two have been everything that's been good about Bridgend tonight. And, you know, it's the hardest place to defend, Sean, isn't it? That midfield scrum in the 22, you've got to pick a side. And to be fair, when they've gone to the line like Ben Bennell does here, and it's just a short ball and just enough to get their arms free and get in behind them and get an extra touch, and he stays alive on the inside, and it's a good try in the end.
You have to be alive, not just as a scrum half there. Aubrey did his job, but as a back row, I think Dan Jemin is on and just didn't react to the inside ball there. Along with Kai Davis, so Luke Price with another chance from a similar spot. Doesn't get it wrong this time, slots it over, and in a blink of an eye, Bridgend get 2 quick tries, and with 12 minutes on the clock, they're right back in this. Howley gets his arms free. Bennell stayed in support. Good try from the young outs at half. Game on, 4 points. Swansea ring the changes. Ellis Fackrell's on wearing 18. 23 is Yayan Cornelius. We've already got Matt Dodd on, former Bridgend player. Now, can Bridgend secure it? Yes, they can.
Okay.
Good carry, Cameron Ellis. He's dealt with those really well. Counter-ruck straight away from Swansea. This game is not over. Ben Roberts comes away with it. Well, they didn't protect the carry from the winger there, did they? And Aubrey, little show and a double-handed pass.
Lost the feet.
Well, it's anyone's here now, isn't it?
Okay.
Bridgend play. They need a try. It's 4 points. Penalty won't do. 2 penalties would, and there's plenty of time left. Williams with a good game, the scrum half. Pumps that downfield. Harry Houston infield. Iwan Glynn was kicked well, the winger. Cameron Ellis has dealt with everything tonight. He'll run it back. Fancies his chances. Beats one. Gets through. Iwan Glynn follows up. Eventually gets him on the 10-metre line. He goes short side. Luke Price. Ben Bennell is there again. Keeps it alive. Runs into Aubrey.
Good night. Good decision.
Williams. Harry Olin. How many carries has he had, the loose head? Still there for Bridgend. Price rocks into position. Out the back this time. Howley's up from full-back. Now then, Jake Thomas. Looking lively, but it was forward, said the referee. Well, enterprise in play, and players on both sides with hands on heads, hands on hips. You just feel Bridgend finishing the stronger here, Kieran.
Yeah, definitely got their tails up at the moment, aren't they? And they look really confident in everything they do, and they're not afraid to push those extra passes to the edge. You know, forward pass in the end, but I think they've been really positive in the way they want to bring the ball back in the second half, particularly from the long kicks from Swansea.
Let's go, let's go.
There's Scott Baldwin. He's moved off the gantry.
Okay, 9 and 6.
He still looks pretty calm. And Ben Lewis is next to him.
Okay, time when you're ready. Let's go.
Just gone out a shot now. Former Ospreys open side flanker.
Okay, time's on.
So Lewis
10
Jones has gone off. Kyle Harris
9, you're off.
is on, and
9,
well, Callaghan Smith is on, and a good shift from Chris Williams. Played really well at scrum half for Bridgend.
I'll give it 10 seconds.
And his opposite number, Matthew Aubrey, goes off to be replaced by Ewan Temblett.
Okay, time's on. 10 to go.
7 to go, said Rhys Jones. Well, he's slightly ahead of our clock.
Fine. Set. Yes, Harry. Hi. Don't crank him. Replay.
10 minutes, Snipes brings Harry Houston, looks for Cornelius. No room there, and the flag goes up. And that's good defence from Bridgend.
It is good defence. Using the extra defender, as they say, and not much space there. Not much space there for Swansea to attack, but they seem to find a little corridor down there. But unfortunately, they probably need to keep that in play there, don't they? Just keep the ball.
Yeah, ambitious. Cornelius right on touchline here. That's good tackle, double tackle, putting Houston into touch.
Let's go.
Now then, Corey Lewis. This is crucial ball now. They need to build some pressure. It's not straight, but no compete.
Contest, not straight.
Well.
Option Swansea. Scrum line.
Well, you feel that Swansea will go for the scrum. They've been pretty solid in that department.
Especially after the last scrum, Sean. I think they were looking for a scrum advantage there, weren't they? I think they were pretty positive in what they were showing the referee, and I think they'll probably chase the same kind of outcome.
Keep it high.
Interesting to see Josh Phillips' tactic here.
Crouch. Fine.
Well,
same as them.
The free, always the same, isn't it? You take the scrum, you think of the upper hand, and then ill discipline. Tom Crockett, I think, just accidentally kicked the ball. Reece Jones takes it as a penalty. Bradley Davis was gesturing from the sideline here. Penalty ref, and he's right. Now then, is this Bridgend's moment? Well, our clock says 7.5 minutes. Referee Reece Jones probably got a little less. And Price will go as far as he can into that corner. It's a decent kick from the former Ospreys 10. It's hands on heads in the coaching staff. Can Bridgend snatch victory from the jaws of defeat? It's a great kick from Luke Price. And the last one was not straight. What can they do? They win it cleanly. They're in position. We've seen a Bridgend try from this shape before. They're all piling in there. Burnell gets in there. Luke Price, even header Howley's there. Who's got the ball? He's over the line, and the referee's arm goes up. And it's a double for Corey Lewis, the replacement hooker. Well, it felt like the whole of Bridgend was in that driving ball. And in fact, pretty much all of the players are in there. And the smiling face of Corey Lewis says it all. Bridgend finally take the lead in the 74th minute.
Yeah, and credit to them because they've come back into this game, and I think the subs have had a massive say in that. I think they've made a massive impact off the bench. Corey Lewis has scored 2 now, and he's looked lively since coming on. I think Luke Price has brought something, and he felt as if it was coming for Bridgend. Really, they've been pretty dominant in the last 10 minutes or so, and every time they've got down here, they found a way to score.
Luke, sorry. Luke, I think the mark's here. Luke.
Yeah, well called, Kieran. And you're right, Luke Price has made a difference, but keeping Ben Bennell on as well has been a bit of a masterstroke. He's had a big impact in this game.
6.5 now, okay?
6.5 now, says Reece Jones. There's Hugh Gustafsson wondering how Swansea have let such a lead slip.
Let's go again.
But credit to Bridgend coming back into it. Positive changes. Good attacking rugby. And now Luke Price can take this to a 3-point game. Silence at the Dunraven Brewery Field. He's got it. He's got it. It means a penalty isn't enough to win the game for Swansea. It's enough to take it to extra time. But we have about 6 minutes left. It's Bridgend 33, Swansea 30. Game on. I think 14 of the 15 Bridgend players were in that ball. Corey Lewis spun away to score. Now then, Phillips tries to make this one contestable. And Howley does so well. Use all his experience there.
Use it!
Replacement, scrum half, Callaghan Smith.
Outside, onside, one. Use it! Take it back. 2, 1. Cash, hold on.
Well, there is extra time available despite try scored if it's tied up at the end of normal time, but Swansea look like they're going for the win. Josh Phillips can't get away from Luke Price. Well, good clear out coming in there from Ellis Frackrell, needed. And now Bridgend with replacements coming off the line. Joe Thomas.
Tackle me! That's fine, play on!
Well, he wasn't held. She let the ball go, picked it up. Temblett brings on Tom Crockett. Bridgend defence holding firm. Phillips trying to get things going. Matt Dodd is held up by Ben Bennell and Jevons. Up to 3 minutes left.
Backwards!
Wills Austin just lose it. Josh Phillips nearly wriggled free. Ben Roberts is there, big second row. Swansea just inching forward. Wills Austin yet again. Good tackle coming in.
Don't pin him in! Don't pin him in!
The referee's smart to that. They're looking for a penalty, Swansea.
Don't pin.
Rhys Jones too cute for that. Callum Dodd ships it on to Iwan Glynn. Off his wing. Harry Houston now. Watch the feet of the fullback. He's danced through. Tried to go all the way. Good cover tackle coming in the end. And Swansea right on the brink here. Up to the 5 metre line. Desperate defence from Bridgend. Temblett pulling the strings. Roberts the big second row.
Balls available.
Defence just holding firm.
Balls out, yes.
Chris Thompson wearing 20. The replacements all getting involved. Just 2 metres short, Swansea. We've got 2 minutes to play and the ref gives the penalty. Kieran Hardy, what do you do here?
It's a difficult decision, isn't it? I think obviously the 3's on offer and it's a pretty easy decision, but I think I think the way the Swansea have come back into this game and the way their season has been, they'd be pretty confident to go for it and try and take the win, because I think they're showing the confidence here. And again, it's Harry Houston, isn't it? He's the one that looks like giving him spark every time he touches the ball, and he gives him a moment there and gives him a lifeline in the game.
Well, here's the infringement. And again, you've got to roll away, and it's giving the referee an excuse.
My only frustration with that, Sean, is that if we could play the advantage there and let Swansea play, it's a bit of a free shot, and I think maybe a bit too quick on the whistle there, not giving them the opportunity to potentially play.
Quickly, Kieran, why 2 players behind the scrum here?
Probably just looking at which side they can expose, and I think it's just about creating an extra number, especially this far out from the line. We don't expect Bridgend to be passive here. I think they're going to have to come pretty hard and leave an option or a hole somewhere. So I think what they'll do, they'll pick a side. They'll probably send someone short to try and hold someone and try and create some space somewhere.
I quite like this decision. They finished bottom, 10th, Super Rugby Cymru. They probably feel, why not? Don't die with the music in you. Go for it.
Fine.
And it's all or nothing. It's all on the line here.
And the scrum's been positive, hasn't it, in the last 5 minutes? So,
Kai Davis is pick and gone. A surprise snap pick. He's tackled superbly. A double tackle, but the ball has come back for Temblett. Replacement is there. Matt Dodd. They're still short.
That's a penalty as well.
No hands, 10.
Desperate finish here, both sides, for a place in the quarter-final of Super Rugby Cymru. Temblett fires it out. It's to Dodd. He can't make it. What a tackle that was.
Balls available.
Coram Knott in the corner, still there with Swansea. Didn't look high to me. It was a fair shot. Still there with Swansea. Clock ticks away. About a minute of normal play left. It's a penalty advantage. Temblett spins it. Harry Houston, watch his feet. There's 3 Bridgend players there. He wrestles himself to the floor. Temblett. He's got an option of Wills Austin, who steps up to 5 metres. Desperate stuff from both sides here. Was that knocked on? It was. And the advantage was being played. It's in the far corner.
On the 5.
Rhys Jones just asking where the penalty is.
On the 15.
Joe Thomas is pointing to the corner.
Option boy. Touch. It'll probably be last play.
He's gone to the corner. It's a second bold decision. Bridgend have held out once.
There's 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left.
Who's your money on, Kieran?
30 seconds left, boys.
Well, I backed Swansea before the game, Sean. I think they've improved throughout the season and they've had a couple of close results, and shows how brave they are as a group and how much confidence they got to try and go, and not happy to take the 3.
To the front, Wills Austin is hunting for it. The maul is set. Well, it's all on the line here. As we come up to 80 minutes on the clock, it'll tick into red. The maul's gone to ground. Desperate from Zach O'Driscoll, the captain. Here's Dodd, the replacement. What a tackle that is. A double tackle. Will that be the momentum that Bridgend need? Round the corner comes Crockett. More big hits coming in from Bridgend. It's out. Swansea quickest to it. Roberts, the tall second row. Howley holds him up. Still there for Temblett. Harry Houston, the danger man. The long pass out there. He can't get it. The clock's in the red. Rhys Jones blows up. It's the end of the game. Well, breathless stuff from both teams. Players are strewn all over the Brewery Field here in Bridgend. What a finish. A credit to both teams, the players, the coaches. It ebbed and flowed. Swansea took a great lead. The comeback from Bridgend. And Swansea had a chance at the end, but Bridgend held fast. Superb defence. And a 1-point game, 61 points between these two teams. Just goes to show what Super Rugby Cymru has offered up. Ben Bennell was great. Luke Price made a difference when he came on. A credit Swansea for the way they approached the game and went for the win in the end. Superb stuff from both teams. Smiles on the Bridgend faces, despair on the Swansea faces. They give it their all, but there can be only one winner. And Bridgend's reward will be a trip to Cardiff for a Super Rugby Cymru quarter-final. Not an easy chance, but a chance nonetheless. Well, this is what we're in store for with the other knockout games in Super Rugby Cymru. Then keep watching. Josh Phillips was excellent there. Ed Howley, Harry Houston, well, a regional star in the making, I feel. Great feet, great attacking play. And he's upset. He'll have better days. He'll have many more days. Well, what a game. Super Rugby Cymru, wildcard game 1. What a game, 61 points. A 1-point game. It went down to the wire, but in the end, it's the home team that run out winners. It's a 3-point game. Bridgend win by 33 points to 30 over Swansea.
Wel, Caerbragdi yw'r lle I fod ar gyfer drama hwyr yn Super Rygbi Cymru. Beth yn y byd bydd yn mynd trwy meddwl y gŵr yma. Buddugoliaeth munud ola I Ben y Bont wythnos diwetha, a oedd Abertawe mewn llwy reolaeth o'r gema. Wel, dyna be o'n I meddwl ar ôl 60 munud hyn yma. Ond dyma cadarnhad o'r sgôr. Pen y Bont 33, Abertawe 30. Triphwynt oedd ynni yn y diwedd. Chwip o gêm yma yn Ben y Bont. A wrth gwrs mae un gêm arall yn digwydd y penwythnos yma. Di Sadwrn, mae Rygbi Gogledd Cymru yn herio Quins Caerfyrddin yn yr ail gêm ail gyfle. A werth I ni edrych ar y rowndiau terfynol sydd yn cael ei chwarae dydd Sadwrn nesaf. Ni'n gwybod bydd Pen y Bont enillwyr y gêm yma nawr yn teithio I Gaerdydd. Trydydd yn erbyn chweched wrth I Gasnewydd herio Aberafan. Bydd tîm fuddigol y gêm ail gyfle dydd Sadwrn yn teithio Llanebwy a fydd Llan Ymddyfri yn croesawu Pont y Pŵl. A mi fyddwn ni gyda chi I dat y rownd derfynol. Rhaid draw ni nawr te edrych I gas sy'n cael peth ymateb.
Diolch Lauren. Ni'n cael ei ymuno gyda Luke Price. Pricey, great effort when you come on, roll back the years. How do you feel at the moment?
Well, I'm only 29, but no, really good. We went, obviously we went a couple of scores down and we spoke about behind the post, nothing tactical or technical, but having a little bit of heart and a little bit of belief and you know, coming back from 3 scores, we'd done something special. It was start of the game was proper cup rugby. You could see both teams kicking a lot of the ball, and then second half, then it sort of opened up, and we stuck to our structure, how we wanted to play, and the forwards carried us over in the end.
Yeah, ever the modest man, Pricey. I picked you as man of the match because you made a clear difference when you came on, drove the standards, drove the enthusiasm to play again. To be fair, you made a massive difference. But what was the message you brought onto the field to change that tempo of the game?
No, it was just, like I said, the first message was just about sticking to our structure. We needed to play rugby in their half. They were going to feed on our knock-ons and hits out the back in our own half. It was about playing down there, then flipping the switch that we were going to really play some rugby in their half, and that's what we did. And like I said, when we went behind, it was nothing technical or technical, but a little bit of heart and what Bridgend means for these boys to play, and that's what carried us through. The same as we done last week against Llandovery.
Excellent. Well done, Luke. Enjoy the night, buddy.
Right, Cyn yn Hadi, mae'n rhaid i fynd nôl a trafod y munudau ola yna. Abertawe, i fod yn deg i nhw, oedd e'n agwedd positif i fynd am y cais. Pe bai nhw wedi mynd am y gic, bydde'r gêm wedi mynd mewn i amser ychwanegol, a falle bydden nhw wedi mynd nôl ar pen arall y cae. Ond be nes i ddechrau o'r penderfyniad?
Mi'n credu'r penderfyniad y cywir. Mi'n credu ti siwr nhw'n twmlo ar y ca. Mae rhaid bod bach o teimlad gyda chwaraewyr am ti siwr mae'r gêm yn mynd, y blaenwyr yn wedig. Mae'n mynd ysgarmau symudol o sgrym hyd yn oed. A fi'n credu o'n nhw'n eitha ddewr yn y ffordd athyn nhw am y gêm na. Fi'n credu mae ffordd mae'r tymor wedi mynd a y ffordd maen nhw wedi gwella yn dangos hyder mas i trial ennill y gêm na.
Ie, weithiau mae'n rhy hawdd falle i fynd nôl a cwestiynu penderfyniadau pan mae pethau'n mynd yn eich erbyn chi. Ond yn y diwedd, be adawodd Abertawe lawr? A'i profiad mas ar y cae? Sut i reoli gemau yn y degau ola?
Falle to bach, ond nhw ar y blaen, ar tipyn yn y hanner cyntaf, yn y hael hanner yna. Mae'n disgwyl yn gyffyrddus o Brydiau, ond chwarae teg i pen y bont, dath nhw'n ôl mewn i'r gêm. A wedyn ffindodd Abertawe falle galed iddyn nhw mewn i'r gêm, ddim quite digon taclus, ond rhoi nhw bach o... Oedd e'n ymroddiad yn teg gan Abertawe a nhw bach yn ymffodus yn y diwedd falle.
Right, wel mae Scott Baldwin, prif hyfforddwr pen y bont wedi ymuno yn ni nawr, the victorious head coach. I called you the resilient Ravens last week. What on earth am I going to call you this week, Scott? What did you make of that?
It was like the lunatics running the asylum at the end, wasn't it? Look, I feel the Swansea. I thought Swansea first half showed they've got a lot of heart in the club and the boys want to play for the jersey, and I thought the desperation for the whole game, and I thought it was a brave call there to go. They had a penalty under the post, could have took it to extra time, but they backed themselves, they were brave, but credit to our boys, they never give up, and to defend so valiantly their close line for the last couple of minutes. We just spoke about, can't question the heart, but we need to stop making so many errors, especially again, three kickoffs, 3 turnovers first phase again today.
16 points at one point, behind on the scoreboard. At what point did you feel you did turn the screw tonight? I mean, it was, I think it was around the 60-minute mark in the end. But what got you back into the game, Scott?
I thought just looking to play in the right areas. I thought first half we probably played into Swansea's hands, looked to play in that middle third a bit too much, and they were creating turnover opportunities. And that's probably a credit to the boys again. 60 minutes on the clock, we're 16 points down. But we still stuck to the plan and looked to play in their half, and we got rewards from it. And fair play, we got some special players in the backs, and I thought, again, spoke about Brad's maul attack. When we actually won the ball, we were really good again tonight.
Had a lot of credit from you, Bradley Davis, over the last few weeks. Well, if that's what fans can expect in the final rounds, they're in for a treat. Scott, good luck away at Cardiff. Thanks for your time. Nôl â ni nawr at Ricky Guest.
Diolch, Lauren. Wedi cael ymuno gyda Josh Phillips, maswr Abertawe. Game gwych i tîm personol, Josh, heb miso kick ar y piss trwy nos. Beth, a ti bod yn fod siomedig nawr, just i colli hwnna, ond beth gallech chi di wneud yn well i wneud siŵr byddai i ddigoliaeth di cael ei cadw trwy gydol ar y gymuned diwetha?
Just cadw disgyblaeth yn meddwl o then. At one point, ni'n 30 pwynt 14 fyny, a ni di, achos yr disgyblaeth gwael, ni di oedi 3-4 cais syth ar ôl i gilydd. So, yeah, siomedig o ran y gêm yna, achos daethon ni mewn i gêm yma yn gwybo bod pen y bont yn mynd i dod a trio cael yr penalties bant ni a chwarae teg wnaethon nhw yn yr ail hanner. Dwi'n meddwl, yr hanner cyntaf wnaethon ni job yn dda o hwnna yn yr ail hanner, ni just cwmpo a just gael nhw nôl mewn i'r gêm, really.
o cwbl y cyfleoedd â chi ar diwedd y gêm, tuag at y corner pecha fanna, oedd 2 kick cosp, gallai ti wedi mynd ar pist i wneud yn siŵr bod chi wedi dod nôl a mynd yn ei flaen de, neu mynd 33 yr 1 i mynd i'r amser ychwanegol. Pham na eithoch chi hwnna, eithoch chi am y cornel?
Just, ni eisiau bod yn mwy aderus, a dwi'n meddwl ni wedi dros yr wythnosau diwetha, ni eisiau mynd am yr win, so, yeah, just, yn anffodus ni ddim wedi dod i ffwrdd gyda'r pwyntiau. Dylen ni really acsiwn ni ar y llinell nhw, really, ond, yeah, just siomeri fod ni ddim wedi, ond, yeah, bydd ni wastad yn bac o hunan i mynd am yr win.
Gret i siarad ti a Josh, pob lwc. Nôl i ti, Lauren.
Wel Hugo Staffton fyna yn cyfleidio chwaraewyr yn gwybod bod e wedi bod yn dymor hir, ond mewn un ffordd maen nhw wedi gorffen ar nodyn positif heno, ond dangos o flaen y camerâu be maen nhw'n gallu wneud. Ond o un faswr, Josh Phillips, i faswr arall, Ben Bynel, ers i ti ddychwelyd i'r tîm, maen nhw wedi bod yn gêm y gyffroes, Ben, i ddweud y lleiad, ti'n mynd lawr. Maen nhw'n deola, sut ti'n tymlo?
Dau gêm diwetha, both ar TV, so... eto chwarae teg i boys, 20 munud olaf, ro'n i'n lawr eto, ro'n i'n lawr 3 cais dwi'n credu, just a confidence a just a grit o'r boys i dal ati ti gael y dewad unwaith eto. Mae'n dangos pa mor agos ni yn fel tîm a ni'n wele ni ffait i'n gilydd rhaid i'r funud olaf.
Dyma'r cais, wel, datha chi nôl mewn i'r gêm. O ti falle'n allweddol i lot o'ch plaid chi heno. Siarad ni trwy hwn, Ben?
Probably bach yn lwcus dyn nhw ddim wedi tynnu yn ôl am forward pass gan Ed. So, just yn hapus eto i dod dros i cael y cais unwaith eto, helpu'r boys a eto, wedyn team effort, 3 rolling maul hefyd, so rhaid teg dal ati eto.
Eisiau gweithio a daif ti fi'n credu, ond...
I know.
Ti'n chi'n dangos lot o gymeriad mas na heno fel grŵp, a chi amlwg yn deit, ond pa fath o hyder mwyn yn rhoi i chi nawr yn mynd mlaen wrth nesaf?
Mae hynna'n dau wyn ar y bounce nawr, so ni wedi curo Caerdydd yn y cwpan. Nhw wedi dod bant o dau los hefyd yn y 2 cwrs fesaf, so mae hyrd yn ilan fanna, mae Cardiff yn eisiau mynd 3 in a row, a ni eisiau mynd 3 in a row, so bydd e'n gêm agos fi'n credu.
So fel bydd ymarfer ysnodd ma nawr, ennill 2 gêm pwysig dros Ben yn y 2 sy'n diwetha. Oes rhywbeth yn newyn i chi cadw fe'r un peth?
Wel, y 2 wythnos diwetha, ni ond i ymarfer yn waith wythnos oherwydd y gêm ar DDI, so probably nice and light eto dydd Mawrth, a wedyn DDI team run, a just dim angen ni newid pethau, just y ffordd ni'n dechrau gêm, ni'n ffeindio ni wastad, mae ni'n 3 cais lawr at rhyw bryd yn y gêm, so ni'n angen dechrau mwy cryf a just wedyn dal ati eto yn ystod y gêm.
Dwi'n meddwl bod y paparazzi yma, mae dy dad i'n tynnu lluniau.
Dwi'n embarrassing.
Oedd ti ôl y camerau. Ond jyst cyn i ti fynd, fe alwodd Ricky Liv Price yn hen Ben. Mae ddim ond yn 29, ond mae bach yn hun y ti. Be mae'ch perthynas chi fel? Be ti'n dysgu o fe?
Mae ond yn 29, mae'n edrych fel mae'n 40.
Ti wedodd hwnna'n yn fi.
Mae'n bit da bod e ddim yn gwrando i hwn yn
amser, ond mae Price wedi helpu fi, yn amffodus, y dau ohono ni wedi bod yn cael anaf at amserau gwahanol, so mae'n nice i chwarae gyda Price i hefyd. Mae'n bach o dau playmaker role, a ni'n gallu tynnu'r pêl, neu ni'n gallu mynd trwy'r canol, so mae jyst yn rhoi ni 2 opsiwn arall wedyn ar y cyd.
Yn bit da yn amlwg bod Pen y Bont gyda 2 arbenigwr nôl. Gret i weld chi nôl, diolch yn fawr a pob lwc oddi cartre yn erbyn Caerdydd wythnos nesaf, diolch Ben. Oedd yr olwyr yn amlwg yn beryglus, ond y blaenwyr wedi gwneud gwahaniaeth heno, Ricky, a ewn i gael cybolwg nawr ar y cais. Sicrhaodd y fuddugoliaeth i Ben y Bont.
Y peth siomedig gyda'r kick-off oedd chwarae dwlu cyn hyn, ond am ysgarm ysmydol yn technegol mae hwn yn wych. Pawb yn gwybod i rôl, dilyn y trwyddo, a mae'r cais yn cael ei sgori.
So Bridgend bod Bradley Davies yn symud i'r sgawles flwyddyn nesaf. Ni'n gwybod bod e'n gadael Pen y Bont. Mi fydd e'n golled, Ciaran, achos ni wedi clywed Scott yn gweud sawl tro, mae fe sy'n tu ôl i pŵer y pac a'r ffordd mae'r sgarmes mor effeithiol eleni.
Mae'n bennod yn effeithiol, a mae'n ennill y gêm yn y weno, mae'n rhaid ffindo ffordd i ennill y gêm. A mae pethau yna'n bwysig iawn i tîm i cael arf fel mae'n gallu mynd at o rhywbeth pan sy'n pethau mynd i ffordd nhw'r bridiau. Felly bydd Bradley Davies yn bendant y golled i nhw a'i brofiad ddim yn mynd o'r tîm.
Reit, Caerdydd pen y bont o siawns dyn nhw, Ricky.
Ar ôl heno, sim dim byd yn y golli, os e. Fi di newid yn meddylfryd ar ôl heno. Mae pac nhw'n dangos bod nhw'n chi ware fel wedol ni heno, ond hefyd mae'r cefnwyr, mae doniau i gyd gyda nhw.
Right, wel anffodus, ti sy'n gofio prynu fe a flat white, fe sy'n gadael gyda gwyn ar ei wyneb ar ôl eich bet chi cyn y gêm ynglyn â phwy bydde yn ennill hon, ond digon i ddod dros yr wythnosau nesaf. I'ch bwyntiau nos Fawrth nesaf, felly gewch chi'r diweddara o'r gêm na rhwng Rygbi Gogledd Cymru a Chwins Caerfyrddin. Mi fyddwn ni ar Bangor Eglwys yn Llanymddyfri, yn anffodus, ddim yn gwybod os fydde di'n ymuno yn ei Ricky, ond fyddwn ni na yn mwynhau yn hunan wrth iddyn nhw groesawu Pontypool. Dwi'n siŵr fydd hynny'n chwip o gêm. Yr rwng gynderfynol a'r Sadwrn y 10 o Fai, a rwng terfynol a'r Dydd Sul y 19 o Fai. A dros yr wythnos nesaf, Caernarfon yn erbyn y Bari, gwedd arllediad o'r gêm yna, Dydd Sadwrn canol dydd. Scarlett sy'n croesawu Leinster, 5 o'r gloch y gêm yna. Scarlett wrth gwrs dal yn y ras i gyrraedd yr 8 ucha. Cyfle i weld gêm ddarbu'r gwylch yn erbyn y dreigiau, a wedyn gêm gwpan, rownd derfynol gêm gwpan, Wrexham sy'n croesawu Caerdydd ar Dydd Sul. Reit, dyna ni pwy fydde wedi dyfalu'r canlyniad na. Wythnos diwetha, wrth gwrs fe gurodd Pen y Bont, Llanymddyfri. Wythnos yma, dath nhw nôl o fod ar ei holi o 16 pwynt. Felly, fel fi wedi gweud, os mae'r gêm nesaf yn seiliedig ar heno, mae'n mynd i fod yn daith digon gyffroes i'r ffeinal. Ricky, Ciaran, diolch yn fawr am eich cwmni chi. Gobeithio welwn i chi ar Bangor Eglwys nos da.